Hey, what is going on here? I'll tell you what's going on here, but first, grab your backpacks, pocket protectors, and your buddy bands as we're heading back to high school on this awesome new episode of Totally 80s and 90s Recall, like for sure. Hello and welcome. On this podcast, we take a look at everything the 80s and 90s had to offer from music and movies to television and pop culture. We'll do this by providing our personal experiences and hopefully stirring some awesome memories, fun, and nostalgia along the way. If you're new to the show, we're so excited that you found us. And for our returning listeners and subscribers, it's great to have you back. I am one of your hosts, David, joined as always by Mad Dog Belding's #1 fan, my friend forever. It's, of course, Rob.
Oh, that was sweet.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
I thought we were on KKTY, but it failed.
Oh.
KKTY Bayside.
Was it good?
Oh, okay.
A little late?
We found the radio station.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, so today's intro is goes back to March 24th, 1984. 5 teenagers from different cliques and backgrounds met at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning. The authors are Brian Johnson, Andrew Clark, John Bender, Claire Standish, and Allison Reynolds. They write, "Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make an essay telling you who we think we are. You see us as you want to see us in the simplest terms and the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain, an athlete, and a basket case, a princess, and a criminal. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club."
Ooh.
Hey.
You went way back in time.
I did. And that'll make a lot more sense as I thought it was applicable to today's episode.
Applicable. Would you say that essay grabbed the bull by the horns?
Yeah, good job. So, five teenagers.
Teenagers.
We're going to talk about 5 teenagers today, and ish.
Maybe 5 plus 1?
Possibly the most famous teenage crew in television history.
Our math's not mathing today, so
Well,
maybe 6.
We've talked about the public school. And
I gotcha.
My public school experience.
All right. Well, it's great to have you here. Say hello to Mad Dog Belding next time you see him. Well, joining us today also, if people can see on camera, is our resident movie hound. Yes, but as it turns out, he loves the small screen too. Let's give a big Bayside Tigers welcome to Kurt. Welcome back to the show, Kurt.
All righty, thank you very much. I have my own sound effects. I feel special now.
You are special. Once you've
feel
been
like
on,
I'm flying through on a Winnebago right
on a
now.
Winnebago.
Oh.
You would fit in on a flying Winnebago.
I believe I
That
might
would be a perfect
maybe.
place for you. So
I'd be the guy just yelling the shitters full.
yeah. Absolutely.
That's accurate.
So what you've just heard, we know you would hate to miss anytime we do an episode of this show. So make it real easy on yourself. And if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button and share it with someone you know will like reliving the 80s and 90s. Please continue to help us grow the show so we can share our fun and memories with as many people as possible. Then after you're done listening, give us a quick 5 stars review, if you will. We'd love that. Tell us what you think. That would be money. Money, Rob? No?
Yeah, that'd be money.
It's good. See, he likes that. I just want to get him to say money, as it turned out. So finally, get in touch with us. Any of the social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, apparently. And you can email us at 80s90srecall@gmail.com with show ideas, questions, express confusion on Rob's choices, as I often do, because we love hearing from you, the audience, despite how full our shitter is.
All right.
So
there's a lot of talk about the shitter today.
Well, with me on the whole show's going down the shit.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say with me on the switches.
Yes.
This show could go.
Flipping the switches.
He's hitting switches again.
Hitting switches.
Well, wherever the show is going to go, Rob, why don't we tell the people what our show is about this week?
So today we are talking about little show called Saved by the Bell.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You could say teen comedy classic if you wanted to include that in your introduction.
I don't want to.
All right. Well,
Because
most people would say teen comedy classic.
I don't know.
Saved by the Bell.
You might say that.
All right. I would always say that. I think you should preface that every time. The honorable Saved by the Bell. Okay. Well, as anyone who knows me knows, I love Saved by the Bell. My wife and friends would probably tell you way too much. These two would probably tell you way too much. I can probably tell you the plot and most of the dialogue of every episode within the first 10 to 15 seconds from seeing. From the prom, when Kelly can't go, to the costume ball when Kelly dumps Zack, to the rewriting of the school song, I know them all. I have all the episodes stashed in the old memory block, and it's probably taken up room that could use other information that's more relevant to my life. But this is what I'm doing. So, all right.
This is what you're doing.
So what I'll start this with is what is our excitement level in the room to discuss Saved by the Bell?
What's the scale?
I was just going to say, are we a 1 to 10 scale?
Well, I
5 stars,
assume if it's a 10, I assume you'll both be taking it to 11 at that point, right?
Oh, I'm dialing it back. I'm dialing it way back.
Can't dial it back.
I will say about, if you would have asked me about 5-6 days ago, I was still at 11.
Oh, okay.
But after going through every single episode in the last week,
As did I.
it was. I'm probably back down to maybe a 12 now. It's exciting
It is
and
exciting.
fantastic.
It is.
If you went down, Rob, you were not a human being.
Yeah, you haven't been watching.
You were not a boy in the 90s.
No.
Maybe I was a girl in the 90s.
Hey, that's your preference.
You
That's
still
okay.
should. You still should be just as excited.
No, I'm probably solid 6.
Oh my.
Yeah.
My,
I mean,
my.
it was
That's
fun.
not what your wife said.
Hey. No, it was fun. I enjoyed going back and watching it, but yeah. Heading into this, I was thinking Dave's going to have to carry this because I'm doubtful that we can come up with enough content to.
Oh, no.
You are.
My
Way
wife
off
said,
of
I don't know how you're going to do this all in one show. You got to
one
do a
show.
multi-part show. We're just going to try to go for
The
it.
show was so stupid.
We'll get it in. What are you
So
talking
dumb.
about? It's literally one of the shows of the 90s, Rob. And that's why we're doing it.
All right.
We do the relevant pop culture things that affected our lives on this show, and Saved by the Bell is one of those things. So,
I agree with every word used in there except for the word relevant.
well, it's 100% relevant. There are multiple situations in these episodes that I could apply to everyday life. All right. And
Oh.
we'll hit them.
We'll get into
Oh,
it.
We'll make sure that we
You've
find
piqued my interest.
You've piqued your interest.
There are other listeners right now going, oh,
Everyday life.
I want to know how Saved by the Bell might impact my everyday life.
I would not be the person I am
They-
today without Saved by the
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell.
Now you've drank the Kool-Aid.
They learn to
The
drive.
Kool-Aid was always in me.
Kurt, just a few examples. They
That
learn
is a
to drive.
Wow.
Yep.
They learn Shakespeare.
Okay.
They
Learn to drive. Yeah.
no,
golf cart
We'll
inside
talk
the
about,
school.
we'll talk about that later.
Time out.
Yeah. See,
No, they do.
that's gonna be my favorite
They
button. in this
do learn
flipping
to
episode.
drive. They learn Shakespeare.
In a golf cart, in a classroom, it's like a 20 by 20. They never
Look,
go outside.
They go into the hallway.
They
It doesn't turn out well.
They experience the military. I mean, there are a lot of experiences and things in the show that you can relate to.
You're a military
regular
man, and
life. I
you
know.
would say they experienced the military.
I mean, yeah, we'll talk about that. That's good.
Okay.
So, okay. Well,
They
my
ran an
excitement-
obstacle course. It was 10 feet long.
It was great. Yeah. They tested every
Okay.
physical ability they needed to test. That's what they did. So,
All right.
okay. So, well, I'm excited. You're 12.
I'm glad
You're
that you're
6.
excited.
No one's talking to you. I'm about a 15. So that's great. Love Saved by the Bell. I rewatched a few just to jog my memory, but I watch it often anyway, still at 40, almost 7 years old. So I still like it. So, but hey, well, let's hit the max, grab a burger, and maybe win a dance contest as we head back to the early 90s to revisit Saved by the Bell.
It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by love. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by love. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell.
The said wapa.
The whip is the best.
The whip is the best part. You might not get a better guitar solo there either. So, but we'll discuss that on one of our musical episodes, Rob. So, one of the quintessential shows of the early '90s. It had a great theme song, as you just heard, "Oil Under the Football Field." And despite Rob's T-shirt today, they hated Valley. But before we go back to Bayside, let's check out some details about the show. Saved by the Bell, in its most known form, the one that most people watched, was on NBC Saturday mornings from August 20th, 1989 to May 22nd, 1993. The show was originally on the Disney Channel, but called Good Morning Miss Bliss, with Haley Mills of The Parent Trap as Miss Bliss. The show took place at John F. Kennedy Junior High School in Indiana. It was supposed to be a show about Miss Bliss, but they quickly saw the potential in focusing on the kids. It ran for one season, was canceled and retooled. They kept Zack, Screech, Lisa, and Mr. Belding, then cast Slater, Kelly, and Jesse for the new show. It moved to California, changed the name to Bayside High, and made the show from Zack's perspective, throw in a live studio audience, and voila, a hit teen show. It starred Mark Paul Gosselaar as Zack Morris, Dustin Diamond as Samuel Screech Powers, Lark Voorhees as Lisa Turtle, Tiffany Thiessen as Kelly Kapowski Ulala, Mario Lopez as A.C. Slater, Elizabeth Berkley as Jesse Spano, and of course, Dennis Haskins as the one and only Mr.
Belding.
Richard Belding. With that, Rob, give us an overview of what the show is about.
All right. So, a close-knit group of 6 friends get through their teens together while attending Bayside High School in Palisades, California. Zack Morris, the cool troublemaker, A.C. Slater, the kind-hearted jock, Screech Powers, the smart and funny nerd, Kelly Kapowski, the teen dream, who is Zack Morris's obsession, Lisa Turtle, the gossiping fashionista, and Jesse Spano, the feminist straight-A student, are classmates and friends involved in misadventures at Bayside High School.
Ooh, Bayside High School. That sounds fun. Just that description sounds fun.
Okay.
Sometimes your descriptions aren't fun, but that description sounds fun.
Okay.
So, well, you two are not the Saved by the Bell junkies that I am, and I appreciate that. But I do have to take my hat off and give credit to you both. You've been both binging shows. In fact, you binged the entire 4 seasons, plus Miss Bliss, plus some others, doing your research, and I'm sure ultimately remembering and discovering how awesome the show actually is. So I do have to give you credit for really putting in a lot of effort on this. You know, you could have winged it. You could have just gone with a few episodes, but you literally watched every single episode.
There were a few I had to put an asterisk next to because I fell asleep through them, so I don't remember all the details.
Oh, my
but
goodness.
That's terrible.
Wow.
But yeah, for the most part, I got the gist. I watched them all. So
There's no gist. I can't believe you've missed. Now we're going to mention something and you're going to, I was snoozing at that time.
well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, even the ones that I did watch, I'm not gonna. There's no way I'm keeping up.
Did
with
you
these
snooze
two.
during the one when Jessie met her other protesting lichened soul and they tied themselves to a,
Styrofoam cups. Down with those.
Down with styrofoam cups.
I do. I vaguely remember the protest.
All
yeah.
right. There you go. So,
yeah.
well, before we jump in and start really discussing the show, I'm just going to go to each of you and tell me first opinions, what you thought, what you remember, if you remember anything about Saved by the Bell. How did it impact your life?
Well, you've already made that statement very clear that you are not the person that you are now without Saved by the Bell.
That is correct. I would not have learned or known now what I know about drugs if it wasn't for Saved by the Bell. How to handle stressful situations.
Yes.
By drugs, you mean caffeine.
What?
Hey,
Hey,
there is also
marijuana.
Okay.
Hey, you also learned what it took to get into a pretend college.
That's right.
Okay.
Stansbury.
It teaches you a lot of things about everything, right? So you can be a crisis counselor.
Yeah, the only problem with the audio medium is you can't show an eye roll.
Oh, we can see your eye roll. You're
We
on
have
camera
cameras
right
now.
Yes, yeah, we got your eye roll.
Check them out on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen.
But I'm not wrong. Twice there were 2 episodes where Zack either ran or was working as a crisis counselor, helping teens in trouble.
Yeah, how'd that turn out?
I mean,
Both
it turned out
times.
good. So
Did it?
It did.
We did. He got a date with a
Really
lady
good. Dates
on one of them.
Yeah, he
right.
kind of had a date with another one. As may not have been legal, but it was there. It was happening.
True.
Right. So, well, we'll talk about the show a little bit, and then we'll jump into our categories in a little while. But I've got some notes. I'm sure you both have lots of notes.
I had some notes.
Here's one. Zack, Slater, and Screech are the only characters to star in all 86 episodes of the current version of Saved by the Bell, the non-Miss Bliss versions.
Yeah, I had a similar note that, and mine specifically, I think, said that Screech was one of the only ones that was him and Zack. But
Him and Zack were in every episode, including Miss Bliss.
yeah,
Including Miss Bliss.
yeah.
But if you're talking about the 4-year episodes at
okay.
high
Okay.
school,
Yeah,
Slater
yeah.
was also the only one in all those episodes.
Yes. Okay.
So,
Yep.
well, we'll give a 30-second or 1-minute deep dive on Bliss. What did you think of Miss Bliss?
No, very different shows. I mean, obviously, they were, it wasn't bad. I liked it.
Oh, okay.
I'm very ambivalent about both of these shows. So,
I learned a lot of my teaching strategies from Miss Bliss.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
No, that's-
recreating the Civil War with a paper fight.
Time
out!
No,
that's so dumb. You
talking
no, that's
You-
not dumb.
you learned your teaching from Miss Bliss.
Did you watch
She got
Miss
all
Bliss
the
teach?
children involved.
involved?
She even gave them her own money, and Zack goes ahead and
Yeah.
invested in potatoes,
And potatoes.
and then
She-
loses it all.
She brought them over to her house on many occasions.
That's perfectly fine.
That's fine. No problem.
Leaves kids just
She had a great relationship with the principal, great relationship with the head of janitorial services, Milo.
That's right.
She helped Deke learn to read.
okay. All right.
I do not leave my class, though, just like she did when you
Yeah.
get mad at them. You don't just leave and walk out like
Oh
she
yeah.
did.
Well, sometimes you got to teach
That
them a
happened all
lesson.
the time.
But you got to teach them a lesson.
All
That's
the
what has
time.
to happen.
Hey, at
So,
JF Kennedy Junior
High
Junior
school.
High, they could do that.
In the
this
90s.
was the late
yeah.
80s.
Yes.
That was late 80s.
Late
so you
80s,
could do
yeah.
whatever you wanted. So what did you think of the head of janitorial services, Milo?
Remind me of Milo.
So
Which one
he
was
had a big keychain. He was kind of like the guy from Police Academy, kind of tried to do imitations and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
voices, and he tried to be a funny guy, So
I don't.
you don't have a lot of memory on him. Okay, so
They basically replaced him with Max
they did.
Yeah.
when they went to
They had to have a funny sidekick of some
So-
sort. So
Well, this may be the wrong place. But how did that transition? We went from Bliss to. Are they? They talk about when shows are canon. Is Bliss a legit part of
No.
Saved by the Bell, or
It's not.
it's its own
the
thing?
way, if you watch the new Saved by the Bells, the way they took that on was Miss Bliss didn't happen because, in the Miss Bliss, Nikki, which is one of the female characters,
Two of the main
she
characters,
makes
yeah.
the statement that her and Zack are best friends and have known each other for years. Fast forward into Saved by the Bell, Jesse says, "Oh, you've been coming through my window for
Right.
9 years."
Right.
They've always been best friends, so those couldn't happen in a vacuum because they're in two different spots. So,
okay.
and what are the odds? As Kurt and I discussed before, what are the odds that Zack, Lisa, Screech, and Mr. Belding all move to California
Yeah.
to the same city, go to the same high school, and he gets a job there as well? So,
Yeah, I do have a question about that, but I have
unless
some ideas.
Belding got the job and just abducted the children and left.
You brought all the parents.
All the parents too.
right?
Well, you don't see all
Yeah.
the parents all the time, so maybe they didn't bring
That's
all
true.
the parents.
Yeah.
So you never see two parents at once. You see Screech's mom.
Mm-hmm.
You see
Zack's
mom,
and Zack's dad.
Zack's dad, but
Yeah.
in separate shows. They're never together.
Unless you watch
Lisa's-
the wedding episodes.
Well,
then
okay.
Yeah.
Then
both
you
the
go.
parents are there.
Lisa's mom and Lisa's dad, separate.
Separate.
Slater's dad.
Slater's
only.
dad, but he's in the military, so he's on and off. You see Jesse's dad at the wedding in Palm Springs, and that's it.
You ever see Jesse's mom?
You see Kelly's dad
Kelly's dad.
because he loses his job, and it's a big emotional moment.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was like a defense contractor.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
And
I did
'cause he
pick
said
up on some. Well,
peace broke out.
There's some theories that I don't know if you guys if you have those in your notes, but I have some theories that I found online about Saved by the Bell. So,
You and your theories.
Yeah.
So,
It's very heady.
Well, when we go from Miss Bliss to the show, like
Yeah.
we said, they brought Zack, they brought Kelly, or not Kelly, they brought Zack, Lisa, and Screech and Mr. Belding over. Then they cast Slater, Mario Lopez. Actually, Jessie, Elizabeth Berkley, she originally tried out to be Kelly, and they really liked her for Kelly,
right.
but they liked Tiffany Thiessen more. So they invented the character of Jessie because they didn't want to lose her altogether. So it was only supposed to be 5, which goes relevant to your Breakfast Club analogy.
See,
But they did add the 6th in because they wanted
fair.
to keep Elizabeth Berkley on
I could see that.
for the show.
That's fair.
But she did try out originally as Kelly.
All right.
So Jenny Garth, the finalist, actually was Tiffany Thiessen and Jenny Garth. They were the final 2 for Kelly Kapowski, and then they gave it to Tiffany Thiessen, and she had to settle for 90210. Jenny Garth. Yeah. So
There were some other people that tried out, huh? It was Jenny Garth, and there was it Brian Austin Green?
Brian Austin Green was in an episode of Miss Bliss.
He was in
actually.
the original,
The original
pilot episode
pilot
along with
episode.
Jaleel White.
Jaleel White.
That's right. That's
Do you
what
know
it
who
was.
Jaleel White is? Rob?
That's Urkel.
It is Urkel.
That's,
Can I do that?
Time out.
Time out. What?
We're not doing Urkel reference.
Not
too
yet.
late.
Hey, it's out of the bag and it is fantastic.
Oh, man.
It's out of the bag. and
I
it's
have
fine.
another. I just got some interesting stuff before we get into our categories. We'll talk more about the show, but Zack and Brandon. So Brandon Walsh from 90210, Zack Morris from Saved by the Bell. They worked at the same country club in the summer, the Malibu Sands, on
Okay.
both on the separate shows.
Okay.
The exact same club. It was even called the Malibu Sands in both
Okay.
clubs. Zack buys Mr. Carosi's red Mustang
Yeah.
for $1,500.
Yeah. Great
Yeah.
price.
Great price.
Brandon buys his boss's yellow Mustang. His was a 65. Morris's was a 66. So
Do you think
who's
that's
writing these stories?
Do you think that's coincidence, or do you think that that's
it's weird.
a nod to? You
And
know,
it happened in the same year, the 92 year, that same summertime between the classes. And the 90210 class and the Saved by the Bell class both graduated high school in 1993. So
okay. Yeah.
there's a scenario where Valley is where the 90210 kids are going to school. And Bayside is where Zack Morris and them go to school. So Brandon Walsh and Zack Morris are rivals.
Okay.
And,
Imagination on this
and
one.
Dylan Moore and Mario
it's a
Lopez and
stretch.
Slater. Dylan and Slater are rivals, right? So
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
That's a stretch, but we'll
yeah,
go with
because
it.
Zach could easily go out with
This whole show is a
Kelly.
stretch.
All right, Preppy, slow it down.
if
Yeah.
he loses out on Kelly Kapowski on Saved by the Bell, which he did. He can just go get Kelly Taylor over on 90210. Still a Kelly. Doesn't matter.
I don't know how you have the brain space for this.
I did not study
crap.
90210 at all. I'm sorry. I barely watched it when it was on.
Well, I'm just giving you a little bit of extra. So, speaking back to Elizabeth Berkley, and Kurt and I were also talking about
Yeah.
this. She was very unhappy with her wardrobe for the show because she
wanted to tease a little more.
she
Yeah.
believed
Very
that
buttoned up.
just because she was
Yeah.
a feminist, she didn't have to dress with the vests and the jeans and the big shirts. Kelly and Lisa got to dress more cute, she said, and she had to be all buttoned up.
That's true.
So she wasn't real happy about that.
That's true. No, I can
So-
see that.
So, but to be fair, my wife says, watching it with me, even though she hated watching it with me, she says
She's
Jesse's the worst character. She's I can't talk. She always complains about something. Like she couldn't get into the school she wanted. She tried to convince Screech not to be the valedictorian so she could be the valedictorian, even though Screech had earned it over her. Tried to break up her dad's wedding. Just taking the caffeine pills. So, she's always calling Slater a pig, a macho pig, all these things. She's kind of high maintenance a lot of times.
Yeah.
She got the girl on the wrestling team, then turned around and get the girl kicked off the wrestling team, or tried to, because she thought she was macking on Slater. She was macking on Zack, I mean, we should all mac on Zack, but that's fine.
Yeah. I did like that part of it. I felt like the characters represented
Real life?
Well, no.
They represent just like when you went to high school.
Oh,
It's the same
yeah,
thing.
it was so normal. The only thing that was similar is he had a couple real nice rugby shirts.
He did have
that I
some good
had in
rugby shirts.
that I had in middle school, and I was like, I think I had that exact
And
shirt.
he had some button-up shirts I had pretty similar to.
yeah,
but I
no.
didn't have the Cosby sweaters.
The big
Yeah.
Zach,
Cosby
Yeah.
sweater.
season 3 or 4, he went Cosby sweater real hard,
Yep.
Yeah.
and I couldn't follow that. That
No,
wasn't working.
I thought the kids represented personalities. Like they each represented a pretty distinct
yeah, for the show. Click in high school.
clique or
clique
or
turned up to
personality,
11.
or you had the jock, you had the nerd, you had the and so I thought they did and that was real. That's real in high school, right?
That is.
There are cliques. We don't want we
Yeah.
don't want to admit that, but you do have the jock group, and you do have and I
You
think
know
we
what
can
I
all
was-
relate to. I think relating to each character there's elements of Zack I related to, and there were elements of Jesse I related to, and there were elements of Screech that
Lisa?
we've all been
Did
there.
you relate to elements of Lisa Turtle?
I liked her.
I think when she was a candy striper, you
she was
felt that.
she was my favorite.
Yeah, she's
She's my
so.
favorite.
Talking about Zach's fashion, because we just were for a second, real quick. He wore the worst shoes though. He wore those Converse Cons.
Well, they were like never
which
tied.
nobody wore.
They're all open, like
It
loose.
had the big tongue out
Yeah.
over. And then I caught him a couple times at Malibu Sands, a couple of episodes. He's wearing a Via, just like Clyde, the Glide Drexler.
Oh, I should have had that queued up.
You've been waiting to use that, and I gave it to you, and you weren't ready. But
Post.
Post. But yeah, he was wearing a Vias. It was impressive. But there were so many better shoes in the 90s. I mean, if I go to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he's wearing Jordans. He's wearing all kinds of pumps. They had a lot of opportunities here, and I feel like they lowballed him on the shoes.
Yeah.
A little bit.
They had a limited budget for fashion. So as a guy that wore the Pro Wings when I was that age, just leave his Converse alone.
I got you. He wore those Converse no matter what.
They stayed white though.
If I dress nice, I'm wearing these Converse. If I dress in jeans, I'm wearing the Converse.
If my button up's tucked into my unbelted jeans.
Never a belt on his jeans. When he wore the khakis, he belt, but no jeans. I think you need a belt when you tuck a shirt in. That's just me though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
very haphazard.
I don't subscribe to the tuck. I don't like the tuck.
Well, I know you don't.
I
like
have
the
to
tuck.
for work.
You
but
have to.
I would prefer to
Yeah.
go untuck.
Let's not untuck things at school there, Rob. You are the vice principal.
I know.
But I got some questions about Screech. So
Okay.
when we talk about Screech,
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to be a smart guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
They at least
was the
pose that.
valedictorian.
He was the valedictorian. But he's also kind of a dumb guy, I think. He only got a 12.05 or something on his SATs. Mm-hmm. It's not that great, right?
But he got valedictorian.
But he was valedictorian.
Yeah.
And he was always doing well in his classes. But what really gets me is if he shouldn't be getting a 12.05 on his SATs. He built and invented AI technology in a robot called Kevin who could react to people. It was true AI. He developed that. That dude should be working for NASA or be like Doogie Howser or something. Not wandering around Bayside High School dressing up like janitors and scuba diving to take pictures and whatever else he's doing.
Yeah, I think
Wearing a
there's
beret.
more to Screech than we realize. I think he's a bit of an underachiever. I think his home life is not the greatest.
His mom seemed pretty nice.
Well,
she likes Elvis.
But I think he's got a bit of a checkered past because when you like later in some of the later episodes, it might be the mall episode.
Yeah.
Does he make fake IDs?
Well, he makes fake
That's
IDs
to go
at
to the
school.
attic.
That's to go to the attic. That's
There you
not
go.
that's not in the mall.
Yeah, but then he mentions like at one point he mentions like an uncle or like he's got some family members that have. You don't learn to make fake IDs without knowing somebody with a criminal background.
Screech is the first McLovin. That's what he is. He's
Like
making the fake IDs.
I got a little bit of like he almost like he had some mob ties, like he had an uncle or something.
Screech does
He
not
makes
have
a
mob
comment
ties.
He
about
has an Uncle Sam. He dresses like him.
Yeah. He says that.
He's got there's some shysterish background going on with.
I don't think
and so I think he's smarter than he lets on. He's more street smart than we realize.
He's also super musical. He can play keyboards.
Yeah.
He can sing in the Glee Club really well. He also can play that long horn that only jesters can play when they did the sandcastle. Boo, boo, boo. That's a hard instrument to play.
Yeah.
He's very musically inclined. Any instrument he picks up, he can just take two. Plays chess very well.
Beats the Russians.
Yeah.
Beats fake Russians. Beats everybody. Doesn't matter, right? So Screech is, but I just don't understand the 12.05 on the SATs.
Yeah.
If you're developing AI, if you're doing all these other things, I don't know what happened that day. I think he was too worried about his pet goldfish.
Because I think you got to lay low. You can't bring attention to yourself.
Yeah, but then he's not going to get into Stansbury.
That's okay.
He got in everywhere.
He would. Yeah. He still
Well,
did.
he got into Burger University.
He did.
Yeah,
Well,
All except for the all-girls college.
He did
That's the only
not
one he
get
didn't
into
get
that
into.
He got into
And
Duke.
that was his first choice.
Yeah, Duke,
Duke.
Columbia.
Come on.
Zach got into Yale because his mom made him apply.
Right. No.
Well,
When he
that's
got
what
a
happens when you get a
1502.
1502. Yeah.
on
No,
the
I think there's
SATs.
more to Screech than there's a backstory there that we.
I like
don't
when he
know.
gets the 1502 on the SATs, and then James, the actor, goes in and he says, I'm Stanley Allen Taylor from the SAT board. And he says, give him no homework. Allow his mind. If you watch that scene, Zach starts laughing because
that's one of
the
my
guy's
favorite,
beard
yeah.
is
Yeah,
falling
he
off.
flips around in his beard. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Was
'Cause
that
he pulls the beard off and then puts it
Well,
back
before
on.
that, when he's yelling at Miss whatever he calls her, he's like, Miss whatever's university. She goes, oh, we're from Stanford. He goes, ooh, agricultural school. And then how does he say Harvard? Is it
Harvard.
his face like turns beet red while he's saying it. Oh,
That's right.
All right. Yeah, Jane's undersold character. Yeah, he's one of the best supporting characters they had.
I'm looking at my notes right here. It says we need to talk about Kevin. So we've
okay.
talked about Kevin.
I mean,
So-
what more do you want to know
No,
about
I
Kevin?
mean, I think that was I do think that's something that
there was a
needed to be
scenario-
discussed.
He did punch Screech, though, in the
He
face.
did.
Gave him a black
There
eye.
was
Yeah.
a scenario in the episode where Kelly temporarily falls in love with Screech for helping her get her biology grade up
Yes.
or some science grade. Helping her. I think Kevin was flirting with her more than Screech was. I mean, every time she came in, he did that weird smile and he'd come around corners. And
Well, and so earlier you
didn't
mentioned
Kevin also help him in the Miss Bayside pageant? I think he was helping out there too.
Yeah.
So
He did.
and he was
yeah, because he looked up the rules.
he did.
They go to him to the rules,
And he was helping them when they were hall monitors. That was good. You weren't going to mess with Kevin.
Yeah, there's a paranormal element, right? Because Slater's dad is government.
Yes.
Kelly's dad is a
Defense
contractor. Then you got
They thought Screech was an alien.
Screech was an alien.
I mean, the Air
Screech-
Force showed
The Air
up.
Force, yeah.
Screech
To the
has
school.
Sorry, they did not portray the Air Force as very smart, by the way.
That that guy.
Not that guy.
Not that
and
guy.
then Screech has access to the equipment and technology to build
Build
an
AI.
AI. So there's more to Screech than
Well, the Screech builds other things too. So
Yeah.
he's got lots of. He developed the Zit cream. So
The
was
love
that
machine?
Beldacil?
the love machine. He developed the love machine.
Beldacil.
Beldacil.
Yeah.
It's a good name. Oh man, that's great.
It's a good name.
It is. That should be on a T-shirt. Beldacil. That should be right. So, hey, I've got this in my notes. So I'm gonna bring it up because you made haste of it earlier.
Yeah.
But, why is driver's ed taught in a golf cart? That doesn't relate to a car.
A three-wheeled golf cart.
Three-wheel golf cart.
And they never leave the 20 by 20. They go to the hallway.
Only
and
Zack.
Kelly
Zack
gets
sets
a
that
head
up.
injury.
Yes.
But who is teaching driver's ed?
Mr. Tuttle.
Mr. Tuttle.
Yeah.
Mr. Tuttle teaches just about everything except for
man.
math.
I love
And
Mr.
Mr. Tuttle is he's bitter.
He's better.
He is definitely the head of the teachers union, which
Oh,
he
yeah.
is.
Oh,
Because that's why
Yeah.
him and Belding do not get along.
He wants to battle Belding at all.
well, he wants
turns.
Belding's job.
Well, he was
He
supposed,
was lined.
He was
in
supposed
line.
to get Belding's
Yeah.
job, and that's where I get back to: did Belding come from Indiana and steal that job? Tuttle's been in the school. He was ready to progress, and then this clown shows up from Indianapolis, and now all of a sudden, I'm teaching driver's ed again. What happened here?
Yeah.
So, but I do like Tuttle. He's good. He
Tuttle's
taught
good.
taught
He's got
Glee
a
Club,
variety. Glee Club.
Glee
Was he the
Club?
band teacher?
band. Yeah, I mean, he
Driver's
did
ed.
Driver's ed. Yeah, he did it all.
I do have in my notes that Mr. Tuttle, the gentleman that played Mr. Tuttle in real life, was the youngest person to address the National Republic Convention, and he practiced law.
Oh my
Like the guy was legit. Yeah, he passed away sadly, but
Tuttle was legit.
yeah,
All right.
Hey, he practiced law. Yeah.
Well, here's
can
some more.
we go back to Screech
Always.
real quick?
Love
Okay,
Screech.
Always
so
time
you
for
mentioned played by Dustin Diamond.
Yes. Do you think that's a stage name?
Well, I don't think so, but you may know that he had a little stint in the adult entertainment industry.
He did. Kurt can tell you about that because we were discussing it last night.
Whoa. We were discussing this very thing yesterday as we were
Yesterday.
watching a baseball game.
Baseball
Do
game.
you know the title of his?
I do not know the title. I just know that he used a stunt performer when the action was
Okay,
actually
that's
happening.
what he says.
Yes.
he's retracted.
He's gone back and forth.
prior to his passing. He retracted a lot of things.
Okay.
But the title of his adult entertainment,
Please be Saved by the Bell reference.
Saved by the Smell.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's gross.
That's not good. That's not good
Super
at all.
gross.
I have not
Saved
fact checked that, but my
Sounds
That deserves a
timeout.
yeah.
No, Saved by the Smell.
And he, I know, he was in a band He was we listened to it online. You can find the name of this band. The name of his band is called Salty the Pocket Knife.
Okay.
Wasn't he then arrested because he stabbed somebody with a pocket knife in a bar fight?
Yeah, he
had a wild life.
Yeah.
He got kicked out of the group for a little while because he wrote a tell-all book, which they felt later he kind of lied about.
Then he came back and said
he pulled
it was
back.
the ghostwriter. He just signed off on it.
He embellished a lot of the things. So, but Zack, Paul Gosselaar did say that he forgave him, and that Dustin was going through some troubling times.
Can't stand at it, Screech.
Stunt penis or not, right?
No. Stunt penis.
Whether there was a stunt penis, we're not aware, but maybe there was. So, only Lisa Turtle could probably tell us the differences.
Whoa!
Speaking of that,
or Violet,
she was with Zack the whole time.
Or Violet Bickerstaff, she could probably tell us.
I did read somewhere that they all dated each other at some point,
except for Screech.
Except for Screech,
because he was 3 years younger.
That's right, he was younger,
and he looked like Screech.
And he was Screech.
Yeah, Lark Voorhees that played Lisa Turtle.
Yes,
snubbed in the reboot.
Yes.
Why? Do you know why?
She didn't want to be back.
Thought she
chose that was a choice. Oh, okay.
I think she didn't do it. I know she had some like plastic surgery and some other things, and so there was some stuff. But I think they did bring her back for an episode in the Peacock version of Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, I came across that. But hey, Nikki from the original
Miss Bliss.
Miss Bliss.
Yes.
She has found a part. She has a part. There was a show in the 2000s, early 2000s, called The Shield.
That's a good show.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
But she has a part, and her character just is listed as 2-bit whore.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. For one episode.
That is.
When I watched Miss
Bliss,
Bliss,
screen credit.
When I watched Miss Bliss, that's kind of what I was thinking. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know
When I see
where
Nikki,
my brain would go.
you know, when I see Nikki strutting around the halls in 7th grade, I was like, you know what? 2-bit whore.
2-bit. You're like,
she's going
sounds
places.
about right.
places.
She's going places.
Yeah, I mean, she's too good for Mikey. She's too good for.
What about Mikey? You know what Mikey does now?
Yeah.
Well, I
This is
read.
a good one.
You go. What does he do?
He's a hockey referee for college.
That's right. He
Yes.
is. And I read here. It says the decision rattled the decision to not carry him over. The decision rattled the young actor and changed the course of his future.
Wow.
He has been quoted as saying that once he was fired, he was so troubled, he told his parents that he never wanted to act again.
Ooh.
In an interview with the
Sound like some
NCAA,
teen
Mac
angst.
said he was, quote, kind of hurt that I didn't get picked up and decided to take a break from acting.
Ooh, that's heavy.
Wow.
There you go.
Well, he's doing okay. He's a
Yeah.
hockey referee. Sure, that goes good. Hey, you know what I want to talk about real quick?
Yeah.
Because you're
He's
in
going through his list
administration.
right now.
You're vice president. You're a vice principal.
Yeah, I am.
So I want to talk about Belding for a second. Because you're kind of like our Belding here.
I relate to him more than I'd like to.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do we believe Belding would be arrested today? So I just have a list of some of Belding's things. Hold on, real quick, before you answer. I just have a list of some Belding stuff.
Okay.
So let's go with Belding. He's laying on Zack's bed at his house.
What's wrong with that? He bought pizza
perfect.
first.
Okay. Wrestling in the hall with Slater, interestingly. He's barging into the girls' locker room
several times.
He
covers his eyes for most of the time.
He gropes the one
Until
girl.
he grabs the girl.
grabbed a
Yes.
girl in
He
a
thought it was
towel.
Zack.
Yes.
He grabbed a girl in a towel.
Yeah.
He often is putting his arms around every student he's near, like a lot of times, sometimes double arms. And I just don't know if this is all questionable behavior for a principal.
Yeah, no.
I like the man group that he's.
Yeah, the
after
man
he has to
group.
do the weekend.
Yes.
About his feelings.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact that
where are these parents?
I know
He's
it was
living in Zack's room and his mom and dad have no issue. Why is your principal laying on your bed? No, it's fine. He bought pizza.
Well, and I know for the show it was a fake fire, but he lit a fire in the gym.
He did.
He had a full-fledged
did.
bonfire
And he had a stick. He's handing out
in the gym.
weapons.
So, yeah.
Right?
Hit when he was weightlifting in the
Half shirt.
The half shirt was ridiculous.
Tell him about the shirts.
Which shirts?
The shirt that he's wearing when they're working out and
when
Slater
he's
has
working
on.
out. It actually says Bayside Junior High.
Junior high school on the shirts.
In that season.
We're not sure
all the PE uniforms all say Bayside Junior High.
Yeah, we're not sure if they made a mistake in screen printing or what happened there, but yeah.
Or
because
they were only in 9th grade, they said, hey, it's still junior high.
Well, yeah, the backstory on that is, he got him out of the lost and found, or the extra bin at school.
Yeah. Now that we're talking about
took it home.
Those T-shirts, I think the quote you want from the calligraphy and all that, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the buffest principal of them all?
That's right.
And then what does Slater say? You stud muffin, you.
That's right. No. If I believe, he was wearing a headband too.
He did.
Yes. He had a headband.
And he was playing the Beau Revere tape over the loudspeaker for everyone to listen to, interrupting classes. No big deal, right? So that's fine. I have a question about his office too. Now normally, aren't there some administrative levels, like a secretary, an administrative assistant, somebody you'd have to get through to get to your office? I've never seen a principal's office just right next to the lockers in the hall where you can just wander in whenever you want. Because there's oftentimes Zach's just sitting in his office.
Yeah.
Do you find students just sitting in your office very often?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah. And it's somewhere in my when there's I don't remember the episode that him and Zack are going to have a talk, and he goes and he pulls Zack's file out of the filing cabinet.
Yeah.
The thing's a foot thick, and it just says Zack on it. So his organizational skills.
Well, and how big is this school? He's got one filing cabinet for all the kids in the school.
Which isn't very full, because Screech hides in it for a whole day.
Does, many times. Yeah. But Screech hides a lot of places that you'd think maybe he shouldn't be hiding it, right?
And I understand that sub shortages and can be difficult, but Belding teaches a lot.
He does.
He teaches a lot.
He just likes to be with the kids.
Right.
He jumps right back in.
Yeah, no.
He was a DJ.
He's done
he
it all.
used to do practical jokes with the Valley principal. His nickname was Stinky. I mean, a couple funny things about that. I read that his bachelor's degree on his wall is actually in Kung Fu. If you zoom in on it and you look.
I had that somewhere.
And there's also some odd pictures. Like there's one where I know you said he's in the Indiana National Guard.
Yeah.
But there's one where he's in uniform with kids. It's a black and white picture. And there's another one that it's two people playing basketball. And I can't tell if it's Belding, but I think it's Belding.
Yeah.
But maybe he was in college or high school. He was a basketball player.
Yeah.
So you and him parallel each other. You're Belding. That's you.
You have grown up to be Belding.
You have grown up to be Mr. Belding.
The quote that I'll share later.
You watched Saved by the Bell.
Mission accomplished.
You watched Saved by the Bell. Other kids watch Saved by the Bell. Most kids are like, I want to be Zach Morris.
And I was like, I
want to be
Belding.
AC Sleeper. I want to date Kelly Kapowski. Rob's taking notes. How can I be Richard Belding?
Well, that's
How do I sidestep Tuttle as well?
I think I'm Mr. Dewey.
You are Mr. Dewey.
I grew up to be Mr. Dewey.
I have to go home and pump iron.
That's right. I got to go try out for American Gladiators.
Is he the one that said,
Lethal Lisa?
Zach, I'm not a straw, so quit trying to suck up?
That was Belding.
Was that
Belding
Belding?
said that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because Mr. Dewey has a great comeback too. But.
Yeah, Mr. Dewey often has.
No, Belding has the guy. He played the same character in 7 different series. So Miss Bliss, Saved by the Bell, Saved by the Bell, The College Years, Saved by the Bell, New Class, The Rerun Show, Robot Chicken, and Victorious. So he's really riding that character.
And you are coming right in behind to keep it alive.
Did you see where Dennis Haskins started his career?
Ooh.
No.
His very first acting job was on the pilot of Dukes of Hazzard.
Nice.
Where he played a drunken, handsy guy in a bar.
That tracks.
He continued to be handsy throughout his high school principal era.
He's a handsy guy. I mean, his kid was born in the school. He loves that school, man. Yeah. So, I just think Belding today wouldn't be able to principal the way he did. In the early 90s.
There would be some limitations on what he could do.
Some limitations. Good old Belding. But Rob, you can take solace in the fact that you've grown up to be Mr. Belding. So
yeah, the only thing about Belding that I thought was I understand. Later in the show, he ends up having a baby. Him and Becky.
Oh yes,
Mrs. Belding have a baby.
Mrs. B.
But that's been a strenuous marriage.
Yeah, they've had a couple bumps.
They've had their ups and downs.
I think Rod's trying to steal her from him. I think that's where the hostility comes from. So, and didn't Tuttle or some other teacher or one of the other, they were supposed to marry her. Oh no, it was Brandon Tartikoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon Tartikoff said he married her Her dad was the superintendent of schools.
And he had to settle for
he was a
becoming
principal,
the
and I had to
president
settle
of
to be
NBC.
president of NBC. So Belding and Brandon Tartikoff were friends when they were children.
Yes.
Yes, that tracks.
Belding had lots of friends.
Yep. There's no hope with dope. So that's just what's going to happen.
That's right.
So, Rob, are you joining us today?
I am.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
Got some
You know,
technical issues
you're
over
on-
here.
You're on camera, so everyone's going to be able to like, what
That's
is
all right.
he doing?
Yes. I'm working on some technical stuff over
He
here.
keeps forgetting
got some
we're not.
glitches.
He keeps forgetting we're not just audio at this
I know.
That's
point.
okay.
He keeps
It's not
wandering
like he
around.
didn't take the 45 minutes before we started setting
Yeah,
up
I know.
cameras.
100%. Yeah. Well, the last thing, I think the last thing we'll hit on
Belding.
before we jump into our categories is Zack a good person? So there are websites dedicated to that Zack is the worst human being to ever be put on the face of the earth. But I do have a few lists. Now, he does some good stuff at times, but I have a list of some things. So bad Zack stuff, I call it. So he takes illegal pictures of underage girls to make a calendar.
Yeah, I'm
he did not take the pictures. He had
Well,
Screech take the pictures.
He made the calendar and he sold the calendar. So he's distributing pictures of underage
the girls
girls.
were fine with it as soon as they got their modeling
Well,
jobs.
of course, but yeah, we're
and
trying to stay real life.
And he made the videos.
Dating videos.
Dating videos.
Teen lines a couple times. The first teen line, he gives everyone bad advice to make everyone mad. Second teen line, he's picking up girls
Yeah, he
on the teen line when you're supposed to be helping them not commit suicide or whatever the problem
he
is.
shames
Fat
an
shaming.
overweight girl.
Yeah,
Lots
disable shaming, makes fun of homeless people. He makes fun of nerds. He kills Slater's pet. He loses Screech's dog in a bet. He's drunk driving. But I think the idea is you learn the right way to behave by doing the opposite of what Zack
That's right.
is doing in his life. And sometimes he learns a lesson. I think his dad scolded him pretty good for the drunk driving thing. He took his keys away, right? And the homeless people, he ended up letting them move in the house. Although he just moved them in so he could sleep with the girl, but that's fine.
And we never saw them again.
Never saw him again. Well, we assumed the dad got the dad a job and they moved.
He was
into the
the
neighborhood.
homeless dad was a computer guy, so hopefully Zach's dad got him a
Perfect.
job.
He said he was going to, and they could stay there until that happened. So Zack, see, he was helping once in a while. So, but he kind of, if you look back on it, I don't think he treated Screech as good as you'd think you'd treat a best friend.
No, he was awful to
He's
Screech.
hitting him a lot. He puts him in a lot of situations that Screech, shouldn't be in. He makes Screech do all the stuff, I think, so he has deniability if
That's right.
things get caught, So
Yeah, no, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, his
he even
his
dresses up.
treatment
He even
of
dresses up like a girl one time to date Screech.
To catfish
awful
him.
to him.
He catfished him a lot.
Yeah. And
Just so Screech would feel better, so he would do the
Well,
class
Zack.
project
Yeah,
for Zach.
100%. Yeah, because Zack had to pass
yeah.
the class. So I think the intention was Zack was supposed to be this all-American kid that everyone would want to emulate. But I don't know. Some of his storylines were questionable. He's insensitive to Native Americans.
Oh, that was running Zack. That was awful. Well, and I don't know. They were trying to. That was a legit try. I think. I mean, they were trying to
Poorly executed, but it was a
poorly
try.
executed.
a legit try.
I mean, it was-
All right. So, and then there was some obvious continuity errors throughout the show with Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Coming and going.
She could sing,
She couldn't sing.
then she couldn't sing, then she's in the band.
Do you know why
couldn't
was
do it.
she? Why was she? They were absent a lot during the last season. Do
Yeah.
you know why?
I think we do, right?
I was going to say, from what I remember, they had filmed and did all the episodes they were contracted to do.
Correct.
Elizabeth Berkley and her.
Yes.
And then they wanted to come back and film more episodes, but they were
Yes.
already agreed to other jobs.
And they didn't want to come back.
And yeah.
Okay.
So they
That makes
wanted,
sense.
they filmed the 10 or 11 episodes they were supposed to film to include the graduation episodes. Then the studio said they wanted 13 more episodes. Well, Zack, Slater, Screech, Lisa all agreed to film.
They had nothing else going on.
Yes.
They're like, sure.
But they had contracted for other things. Elizabeth Berkley was contracted for a little movie.
A little famous movie she did.
Movie she did.
That really shot her into stardom.
And Tiffany Thiessen said she just wanted to go out to do other things. Like
She'd
she
already,
didn't
I
want
think
to
she'd
do
already filmed Brother-in-law. Because that
Son-in-law.
came out, or Son-in-law, yeah.
Son-in-Law.
Because that
She
came
had.
out in 93.
Correct. So what they did was they had to make an adjustment for the 13 episodes, and they brought on but they needed a female character. So they brought on a female, Tori Scott was what her name was. She had a black leather jacket. She was kind of cool, but she was kind of hot. So they brought her in to kind of be another love interest for Zack. Yep. And they filmed all the episodes with her in school, but they make no mention of why Jesse or Kelly are never there. Then at the end, when they graduate, you show the episodes where they filmed with Kelly and Jesse graduating, and now Tori's completely gone, and she doesn't get to graduate.
She got a class ring, though.
She did get
the
a
other
class
girls
ring.
didn't. They might have. We don't know.
Maybe they were doing distance learning. Maybe they were doing it on Zoom.
Yeah, right. Well, with their parents all being defense contractors.
Oh, yeah.
Why are they so poor? I would
all
think defense contractor would be a good paying job.
Yeah.
Why was Kelly always so
But he
poor?
lost
Well, they
his
had
job.
Oh, that's right. He did lose the job.
And she's got
siblings.
7 brothers and sisters.
No, 6 brothers and sisters. She's number 7.
She's number 7.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
9 people in the household. And she's having to, she's having to work at the max. I mean, she was excited to get $5 in tips.
Okay, I want to quiz David right now.
Oh, boy.
How many brothers and sisters of Kelly can you name?
None. Oh, I can name one, Nikki. So because I don't remember them mentioning a lot of other ones.
What was the baby?
Oh,
The
the
baby.
baby. Oh, that's
It goes
a
with
good one.
baby. It starts with a B.
You could hit the button because you've actually got me on this one.
Wow.
Yes!
I know that they passed that baby around all day.
It was Billy.
Billy.
And why was Billy at school?
Because there was no
Because
babysitter.
The parents got snowed in somewhere.
I
That's
understand
correct.
that.
Kelly had to take pictures.
Yeah.
But no.
So
I like when everyone was pretending to cry when the baby was crying. Wah, wah.
Yeah, in the class.
In the class.
there was also a brother named Kyle, who was a younger brother.
Oh.
What was
He yelled out a window one
Yeah.
time
Oh.
when Zack was showed
dropping her
up.
off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what episode, but one of her older brothers is named Bennett.
Wow.
Wow.
She must have. I didn't get that, and I'm pretty good. Why?
No.
You stumped me a little bit.
Because I was like, I want to see if David knows him. So I started
I knew
looking
Nikki.
or watching all the episodes. I was like, okay, they just named one of them.
Yeah.
I was hoping I was going to get all 6 of them, but no dice.
I knew Nikki because obviously she's a prominent episode.
Yes.
Where she calls him a jerk, which he was a jerk.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Well, we just talked about how Zack is one of the worst
He's
people in the world.
Maybe. I still like him though.
I still like him. He's still just such a lovable jerk.
Mark Paul Gosselaar, I heard him on a podcast. Ooh, tie that together.
Ooh, on a pod.
He on a pod. He said that he based his whole character on Ferris Bueller, talking to the fourth wall, all
yeah.
the antics.
I could see that.
Trying to be slick all the
I
time.
wouldn't
things
know.
like
I
that.
wasn't invited on that episode.
No, not our pod. It was on a
Yes,
different
I know,
pod.
but you're Ferris
Yeah.
Bueller. So.
That was
yes.
before.
You weren't available that day. You were off dancing in Idaho or something like
Ooh,
that.
I do love to dance.
I love to dance.
I'm like Slater and Jesse. I love to
Yes.
dance.
Slater's
I love
a good
to dance.
dancer.
Hey, did you know that the show was nominated for a Daytime Emmy
Did it win?
for outstanding achievement in lighting?
That is fantastic.
Lighting.
It was very lit well.
I will tell you the indoor episodes, which most
Yeah.
of them are
Yeah.
fabulously lit.
They
The
are.
outdoor episodes,
They're always green.
terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty rough. I don't know what's happening
They
there.
are not built for high def.
A couple of other things I found is
Wait,
that
real quick,
Yeah.
you know how I know the lighting was so good? In the early seasons, the first couple seasons,
I
the
know, it's so
lockers
good.
were red.
and then they were
the
yellow.
last 2 seasons they were orange.
Orange. That's right. They changed.
They did a locker change. They must have remodeled the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New school.
Well,
got new
things
lockers?
moved around in the school a lot.
They did from time to time. But Zach kept the same locker all 4 years. I didn't have the same locker all 4 years.
Oh my gosh, I don't
you?
even remember.
'Cause remember-
no, we couldn't have.
At our
because
school, the
different-
freshmen were in the basement.
That's right.
Sophomores, you were in on the 3rd floor,
Junior
and then
and
junior
seniors.
seniors were in the 2nd floor, the
Yeah.
meat of the school.
I couldn't
right.
tell you whose locker was what. I just carried my book.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. A couple other things. There's
Sorry.
in 2018, there was a pop-up restaurant, a full-blown pop-up restaurant inspired by the show, recreating many of the classic sets. Saved by the Max was created with participation and support from NBC. And then there's actually a musical. Angle, the guy that wrote the show, wrote a Saved by the Bell musical. Unfortunately, it never happened. There's, however, a Saved by the Bell parody musical called Bayside the Musical.
Nice. Jimmy Fallon also did a
Oh yeah, his
he
back
did
to
like a
Bayside or
back to
whatever.
Bayside sketch on the Tonight Show, and everyone but Screech was there.
Mm-hmm.
But he was dressed like one of them, and they in the hallway again. So it was pretty good. So
Let's see. Did you know that when the characters graduated from high school, their real life ages were Mark Paul Gosselaar was 19,
yeah,
Mario Lopez was 20, Elizabeth Berkley was 21. Tiffany Thiessen was 19. Lark Voorhees was 19. And Dustin Diamond was just 16 years old.
I liked that they were actually a little closer to their age.
Yeah.
My thing with 90210 was when that started, one of the girls playing Andrea, she was 31.
Yeah,
Freaking the guy who played Steve, Ian Ziering, was 29.
Sharknado.
Sharknado, very good. What is it? The only Jenny Garth and like Tori Spelling and Brian Austin Green were in their teens. The rest of them were all 20s. And they look like it. Like Dylan was like 26, and he's like balding in school. Same with Ian Ziering. I'm like, what is going on here? So I appreciate on Saved by the Bell that they were their age, So now Slater's hairdo may not have progressed as he grew up, but
No.
the
That
age.
lovely lettuce was there the whole time. Just dripping down the back.
Can we quiz Rob? Rob, do you know
No.
what Slater based his famous hairdo on?
I have no idea.
Go ahead and tell him, Kurt.
It is Mel Gibson of Lethal Weapon.
In the Lethal Weapon, he wanted to have
He
that
wanted
same
that
hairdo.
lovely
I could see that.
lettuce.
Yeah.
And we've mentioned it on a previous pod, but Mario
It
Lopez.
doesn't bother anymore.
Mario
It doesn't bother me anymore.
Lopez
Doesn't
was
bother me
the
anymore.
drummer on Kids Incorporated.
Yeah, he was the drummer in the show too.
Yeah,
He's a good drummer.
He's a drummer.
He's a great drummer.
He's a good drummer. He's a good dancer.
He,
He's a good wrestler. He's a great football player. Stansbury wanted him to play football.
But from what I hear in personal life, not good at monogamy.
Oh, well.
I struggled with that.
Can't help
Struggled
him
with that.
Well, when you look like Mario
dated
Lopez,
That's true. I might have had
I
trouble.
mean, if I
No,
look like
I
Mario
love you, life.
Lopez,
He dated
I don't have that
princesses.
problem.
Princesses, yeah.
Dated princesses.
On the show.
He dated
show,
women he rescued in the ocean.
Yep.
He
He was
was-
supposed to show up to Bayside, but never did.
Yeah. He was a great he was willing to do costumes.
Oh, yeah.
He was an astronaut. He was Gumby. He did leotards. He did dancing.
He was
Dressed
also that.
Artie,
What were
the
they for the?
chameleon.
What were they for the? He was Artie the chameleon. What were
right.
they for the?
that was one of my favorite episodes. The acting on that was fantastic.
Artie
Belding was at his best when they did the lineup,
yeah.
and the acting was phenomenal. Belding was the like state trooper.
Belding should have got a daytime Emmy for that emotional scene with his brother when he has to.
Okay.
He has to fight emotions to kick him out of the school, knowing this is my brother, but I still have to kick him out of the school.
We had a text going back and
Get
forth,
out of my
and he was like,
school.
"Just wait till his brother Rod comes to school. His acting is like Oscar worthy."
By the way,
something like
Rod
brings the emotion.
Rod looks like an extra from Die Hard. Like he was
does.
one of the thugs.
He
looks
that
like the
was
blonde
fighting.
dude.
that. Yeah, he did.
Like Bruce Willis beat him up at Nakatomi, so now he's just wandering around substituting at schools.
What about their liberal use of the word bimbo?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
They're bimbos.
That's fine.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
It was
what
the
about
90s.
what about the liberal use of the word macho pig?
Yeah.
Mama.
Mama.
Mama was a
Yeah.
good one.
What's his one about? The women's movement. Move
Yeah.
yourself into the kitchen.
Well,
right.
he says it. He says, "Don't you believe in the movement? Yeah, put on something cute and move it into the kitchen.
Share the responsibilities. All right. You cook the food.
You cook,
I'll eat.
So, he was that in the original script. That character was based on Vinnie Barbarino, John Travolta's character in Welcome Back, Kotter, who was also kind of a chauvinist type of, person like that. And then, of course, Mario got cast, so they kind of kept the character and the script the same. They just didn't use the Italian-American version. They just used Slater.
Right.
So all I know is no one wears two tank tops better,
That's right.
tucked into their jeans, than Slater.
Yeah,
and no one has more pleats in their pants than AC Slater.
I don't think I'm giving anything away, but later when we do our categories, there's a category that talks about fashion.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was asking my wife, I said, I struggled with that one.
No,
And I
it's
said,
so easy.
I said, help me out. And she goes, without missing a beat, she goes, Slater's lack of sleeves.
Oh, yeah. No, he hates sleeves.
That's where she went.
But
He makes up for it
but-
when he has the button-up shirts
when-
that are more than
when
half
he
sleeves.
when he actually wears sleeves, they're down to his wrists
they're-
for no apparent reason.
They're the short. Yeah, that's true. They're the short. But that was the thing, the big baggy.
The
Yeah.
billowing.
the billowing, yeah. And he wore that onesie really well when he was wrestling.
He did.
Ooh. The nipples were showing. It was perfect.
It was cold.
It was cold.
Cold in that super large gym
super
they
big
have
gym.
that only has one basketball hoop on one end.
And two bleachers
And, yeah,
for the
if
whole
that,
school to watch.
yeah.
And when they wrestle, the fans are literally standing within a foot of where they're wrestling, and they no problem.
I like the first time they wrestle early in the series. It's just like one of those mats that's supposed to be
on the
wall, but they just throw it on the ground.
It's not even a wrestling
At
mat.
least later on in the series, they at least have a mat that has the circle on.
Is that when he picked up Nidik?
Yeah,
Yes. Slammed
he
him?
does
Yes.
like a
Yes.
back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes.
No headgear.
No, that's
No.
He doesn't want to mess up the ears.
The lettuce.
The lettuce is flowing. He doesn't want that trapped.
Lettuce is flow. Hey, so I found a couple fan theories online.
Underlay.
Some theories are one that Mr. Belding, to explain the jump from Indiana to California, Mr. Belding is a murderer who
Nice.
moved to California to distance himself from the scene of the crime.
Okay.
There's another one out there that says Zack is actually Deadpool.
Oh yeah, I've heard pieces of that one.
Yeah. And the one that I actually really think there's some legitimacy to
Here we go.
is that that this show it's based around Zack.
Yes.
Obviously. But that it's a dream.
Yes. So that's the one I've heard the most.
And I just, the more I read about it, and
Yeah.
and even Tiffany Amber Thiessen's on record as saying she kind of
she
buys
could see
into
that.
that. Yeah.
So they say
So they do a dream within a dream.
Yeah,
if they do the Zack
it
attack.
basically-
doesn't track 100%.
what they're saying is
But-
what the theory is. Zack is not the cool Zack you see in
He's
real
more
life.
Screech.
He's kind of he's
Well,
or
they
he's just
say-
a normal guy.
Yeah.
So he's developed this version of himself that's like Ferris Bueller, and he's dreaming what high school would be like for him or should be like. That's why he can stop time.
Yeah.
That's why he can move people around when he stops time.
Well, and like
he can do
California's
stuff like that.
California's his dream place.
Dream
He's on
place.
the beach. You
Yeah,
know,
he's stuck
you
somewhere
know.
else, like Alabama, or I don't know where he could be.
'Cause somebody
Right?
pointed
Alabama's
out-
great. Don't want to
Alabama's
offend anybody
great.
in Alabama.
Yeah.
Well, and
We
somebody
love our
pointed
Alabama
out
crowd.
somebody pointed out that in Miss Bliss, he's a child of divorce.
Yeah. Oh, he is.
But yeah. So then,
But then he has his real parents
Yeah.
in the real. He has two
yeah,
parents.
and everything just goes perfect. Nothing ever goes wrong. You know, except for.
but other
Except for
parts.
that whole drunk driving. That's
But then
So-
even then, he got off
yeah.
with a hand.
Why-
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. There are questions, though. Why would you dream drunk driving? Why would you dream getting caught for all your schemes? Why are you not getting away with your schemes? Belding always catches
Even
you.
in his dreams, he wanted to learn a lesson.
I guess. So I just think it's supposed to be funny, and you've gone too far, and you think way too much about these things. You get down these rabbit holes, you get lost. It's Saved by the Bell.
I
Rob.
found-
How many Reddits did you
Saved by
move
the
through
Bell.
to find that one?
All right?
it
We're
wasn't
not-
hard.
We're
Well,
not
once I
at,
found one, and then I just got into a bunch of them.
There's no conspiracies. We're just talking about beat, beat, beat.
Go
That's
Bayside.
all we're doing here.
Boy.
So, all right, Preppy, let's lace up those Converse cons, grab our brick telephone, and do everything at school but learn. Let's go ahead and jump into our categories, Rob.
All right.
Oh man, no sound effect. We had that. We're ready to jump into our categories,
I thought we were
and
doing that
we set that sound effect with no, not the song.
sound effects.
Okay,
Which
it's
one?
lost now.
Which
Which
one? No,
one?
now
It's
we
fine.
need to know what's the sound effect.
Yeah, I
he's
wanna know.
missing.
It was the Jesse Spano sound
Jesse
effect.
Spano.
And he's having a tough day on the. He's supposed to be working the switches.
So excited! I'm so excited! I'm so scared!
Ah, yes.
There it is.
See, if he'd have timed that better, it would have worked. And then I would have said something like, "Well, we're not scared to jump into our categories."
We are not. Apparently,
so-
we were scared a little
But
bit.
we were a little scared because we
I got
couldn't
a
get there.
little jittery.
He said before that he's flipping the switches today, and the switches didn't flip.
Well,
So-
that switch got stuck.
Well, let's jump into our first category since we've beat that into the ground. Our favorite character, movie hound. We'll start with you.
Oh, alrighty. Favorite character. Sorry, I had to do it.
You're not supposed to do it for yourself.
I want to do it for myself.
No.
I didn't know if he was going to hit the button again, and I love my sound effect that I now have. Thank you again. Favorite character? I went with Screech.
Oh, wow.
You got to go with Screech.
I
I
know,
mean,
I
he's going to do
disagree.
anything for his friends.
All right.
Can I-
one example?
I did as well.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Both of you.
I got
I
a
did.
lot of.
Oh,
How
yeah.
is yours not
things
Mr.
here.
Belding? All right, let's hear your Screech.
All right.
Yeah, go for
First
it.
one, right
Defensive Screech.
right off the bat, helps Lisa in the dance contest. First episode.
All right, name of the dance that wins.
Let's do the
Sprain.
Sprain. Yeah.
Yeah. And who is the dance host?
Casey.
Casey.
Casey K. That's right, Casey Casey.
I went first episode helps, and then last episode he gives up being valedictorian so Jesse could do it because
He
it means
didn't-
so much to her.
Yeah, but he still took it. It was
Well, she
symbolic.
She gave it back.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He didn't want to hear her whining.
He was all in on any one of Zack's schemes.
Yeah, and he never asked. He should have asked a couple more questions once in a while.
He never did.
No,
I mean,
but
he's willing to go get in the scuba gear and take those pictures
He is.
of the swim team.
He's willing to have the party so that they can buy the new Elvis statue
That's right.
because Mom loves that Elvis statue.
He loves being in disguises of Barbara Bush. Sinead
Don't
O'Connor.
forget, Screech's mom loves that Elvis statue. Loves to watch her cook.
That's right. That's why she has to turn towards the
right.
kitchen.
That's right.
Apparently, he's a great DJ because he DJs most of the dances.
He is DJing a lot. So
and
and
then
good on the keyboards. We talk about his musicianship.
Yep. And then to finish up with Screech, Lisa describes him as this might be a much better world if it had more little dorky guys in it. Don't you think?
Even though she just terrorizes him the whole time.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
But to be fair, she always got stuck with Screech
That's right.
because Kelly and Zack would go off, Jesse and Slater would go off. We noticed that a lot in the Palm Springs episode. It's like Lisa's like, I guess we're walking around because she didn't have anything else to do.
Poor
And
Lisa. Poor Lisa.
He's got that stupid book he's trying to pick up women with.
Yeah.
and
That's right.
everything.
How to pick up ladies. Or
That's
whatever.
right.
That's right.
All right. Well, what's your defense of Screech? Rob?
Same thing. The top of my list, I said loyal. He's super talented. He's a keyboardist. He's in the photography club.
Rock-a-doodle, dude.
He's on the chess team. He won the city championship.
Beat a Russian.
Yeah, he built a robot. We've talked about his
AI.
technology skills.
Didn't he win Miss Bayside?
He did.
He did. He is Miss Bayside.
At the Malibu Sands Resort, when he was there, he excelled as a waiter. He earned lots of tips. He was an undefeated chess season.
Hey, time out. Rob, time
yeah.
out.
Time out.
Do you, speaking of Miss Bayside real quick, because you're talking about Screech,
Yeah.
can you re-sing that song Belding sings when he wins, the winning song?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I would like to hear you sing that.
That's not on the switches today.
I couldn't do it as good as he did it. We talked about how he earns the valedictorian, then he gives it back. And he's quick to do it. He didn't want to hurt her, and I just thought that was really good.
Yeah.
He got accepted to Duke, Emerson, Clemson, University of Cal Berkeley,
Berger
the
University.
California Institute of Technology, Emory University, University of Southern California, Washington Jefferson College, and Princeton.
I think he got accepted to the fashion school also that
He
Lisa
did.
was trying to get into.
Yes.
But
And
what did he not get into?
What did he not?
It was the all girls.
Yeah, the all-girls
the
college.
all-girls
I can't remember.
Yeah. He was rejected he was rejected from an all-women school that was his number one choice.
Number one choice.
But no, I don't remember what episode, but he says Zack is over at his house. They're having a sleepover.
Yes.
And Screech goes to say his prayers for the night, and he prays that Zack would go to heaven with him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Zack says, you really want me to go to heaven with you? And Screech says, sure, you're my best friend.
No.
Wow.
Wow.
And then in his graduation speech, he says, I love him to Zack, and he has Zack come up. So I just thought far as friends go,
Yeah.
and Zack treated him like crap. And
You really brought down the temperature of the
I
room
don't-
here.
No,
man.
it's great. He's a good guy.
All right. I guess.
Screech is the
Well,
he's
I
the guy.
don't have Screech. My favorite character is Kelly Kapowski.
I thought you were going to go with Zack.
Let's
You
not
want
make this,
to be Zack.
let's not make this difficult here. So look, I love Zack, and you wanted to be like
him.
you said, might wanted to be him a little bit, but 99% of the time, I'm watching this
That's
show for
the other
one
episode.
reason.
That's the other episode.
Right?
It's just unpacking
Okay.
how you wanted to be.
All right.
Zack.
So, but 99% of the time, I'm watching this show for one reason: to see Kelly in a miniskirt, a bikini, sleeping outfits. She wears pajamas quite a bit.
Well, the evolution of their
her Max uniform
the
is
evolution of
spectacular.
their cheerleading outfit.
Oh, yes.
Great.
Spectacular.
Her Max uniform, I'll just buy a couple burgers. No problem there. That cutoff shirt. She's the only one who got to wear the cutoff shirt. All the other waitresses and waiters had to wear regular shirts. But Jeff's like, I got Kelly here.
Yeah, we didn't talk about
She was going to
Jeff.
be a model until Zach screwed that up.
Jeff, the sophomore in college, going for a junior in high school.
We'll talk about Jeff. We might get to Jeff later.
There's a lot of
so.
age things in some of these episodes.
There's some
with-
age problems. Johnny Dakota was much older than her too. So.
Well, and the nurse hitting on Zack.
Oh, that was a good one.
I mean, that was intentional. They played him.
Ooh, I got an inside thing on that. Originally, they cast the Sports Illustrated supermodel Kelly Ireland as
I had that.
nurse, but she couldn't talk. They said her on screen was so bad. No, her accent was fine. like she couldn't get lines out. Like it was so bad, everybody. So they fired her. and brought
I
in
was.
this
I
other
forgot
lady.
to ask that because
So-
how bad do you have to be that you don't get a part on Saved by the Bell?
No, they said they taped it
Like
multiple times.
you don't meet our criteria.
Yeah. They taped it. The director said they taped it and they tried so hard to give her a chance. She literally couldn't deliver lines.
That's kind of like
They had to fire
the episode on KKTY where poor Slater, he could not.
Just couldn't get 5-3.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he couldn't do the on air stuff.
So, well, yes. So Kelly Kapowski is mine. We're not making this hard. It's Kelly.
All right.
Watch yourself. We left you wide open for that. We'll move on to category 2. I know. I left it right there for him. He didn't go fast enough.
No.
Yeah, no. He's trying to be appropriate.
With
now.
Kelly, when I was a teenager, it went very fast.
Time out.
He got it.
There it is.
Wasn't hard at all.
It was briefly.
Couldn't leave it alone. So
Hey,
all
there
right,
was many a young boy in the early 90s that became men.
Okay. Well,
Because of Kelly.
Kelly Kapowski.
so let's go to our favorite quote. My favorite quote was the put on something cute and move into the kitchen, just because I think it's so silly and funny. But I had a backup, sensing Rob might, steal it or say it earlier in the podcast. So another one that I liked was I just watched it. I just remembered it, and I told Kurt about it. On the Palm Springs episode, Lisa Turtle probably has the best zinger in the whole show. It's a legit zinger. Jesse's upset who her dad's marrying because she's too young. And Jesse says by the elevators to Lisa, Zack, and Screech, she goes, well, she's nothing like my mother. And Lisa, without skipping a beat, goes, well, that's good because he divorced her. Like, just smashed her face in. And like even Zack turns and looks at her a little bit and's like, oh, okay. I mean, she held nothing back on that. So that is my new favorite quote. I also had, hey, mama, want to have a burger with a real man? And Jesse stands up and goes, sure, I'll go find one. So
Nice.
Those are good ones, too. Another little zing. I like the zingers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's lots of great quotes throughout this. Great quotes. But I like those quotes.
I like how you great and then it's like a marquee on a
Marquee,
you're like great.
If this was an email, all capitals,
Great.
I'd say 3 exclamation points. Great.
And you'd put it in a different color font.
Oh man,
Yeah.
maybe a Sands or
With, like,
a
red.
I like the Celtic. That's a
Celtic
good
font.
one. That's a good one. Yeah. Or what's that Sanskrit one where it's just symbols?
Yes.
And then
That'd
you'll
be
know
Sanskrit?
what great is.
Yeah, no.
So I got
All
you.
right.
All
What-
right. Favorite quote.
Go ahead.
I will go. All right. So my favorite quote. Here we go. Let's see if you can guess which episode.
Okay.
I'm guessing you will be able to
All right.
get
You
it.
can always try.
Dumb, stupid,
Oh yeah, great. I'll let you
Crazy.
try first.
dangerous, stinks.
Stinks.
In one word, would I use dope?
Nope.
Nope.
So dumb.
Do you know which episode, Rob?
That is with Johnny Dakota.
John Dakota. Yeah.
And where they're doing their
Yeah, and the president of NBC.
They're doing the PSA. It's
They're
Zach.
doing the
It's-
PSA.
It's Zach.
That's right.
It is no hope with dope.
No hope with dope.
Okay,
I mean, like I said, I learned a lot of stuff by watching this show.
That's right.
Learned it.
Learned it.
Never touched this stuff.
I'm mad
right.
at myself that I was able to answer that question.
You shouldn't be mad. That's
Like
great.
I'm really torn that I'm happy that I got it right, but
Yes.
at the same time I'm disappointed that I knew
okay.
that.
You have been infected by Saved by the
Yeah.
Bell.
well,
that's right.
I know it's difficult to follow our quotes, but what could you have?
So season 1, episode 9.
Perfect.
Slater is going to quit wrestling.
Oh, nice. To be a chef.
Yeah, he's decided he wants to go.
He makes a good souffle.
Yeah,
Because
right.
he needs a career.
He needs a career. Wrestling's not a career.
So Slater goes in to get some counseling from Mr. Belding.
This is good.
Right?
I know
they're
where you're going.
They're sitting in his office, and Slater says, "Mr. Belding, I'm having trouble choosing a career. Did you know what you wanted to be when you were a kid?" And Mr. Belding says, "Well, there were times when I wanted to be a test pilot or a race car driver or a stuntman, but they didn't offer the same sense of risk and adventure as school administration."
That's right.
Slater replies back with, "I can understand that." He says, and then Mr. Belding continues, in high school, I did have visions of being a professional basketball player." Slater says, "Well, what stopped you?" He says, "Sister Agnes. She kept blocking my layups."
Oh, nice.
That was that whole conversation.
By the way, that's that basketball picture then on the wall that I saw.
Maybe that was Miss Agnes. Just
yeah.
By the
blocking
way,
his shot.
also a little foreshadowing. That's season 1. Slater takes, because he goes to the costume ball one time as an astronaut. In the Zack Attack Dream, he's a race car stuntman.
gets hurt.
Yeah. So he took that Belding advice to heart.
So I'm actually going to get that quote,
Oh, nice.
print it up, and I'm going to put it in my office. Just the
The part about the Agnes?
Well, no. Well,
the
there
school
were times,
administration?
but they didn't offer the same sense of risk and adventure as school administration. And then, in season 1, episode 5, he says, Belding says, it's hero worship. Rock stars, ball players,
Principals?
we excite people.
That's pretty good. I'll give you credit for that, Rob.
It's going to be
That's
one
good.
of those two in my office in a nice printed sign.
Yes. Well, speaking of exciting people, Kurt, excite us category 3 with your favorite location that is not at the school.
All right.
Because we know Bayside's our favorite location, but what else do we like?
So not at the school. I had to go with the Max.
Of course.
I had to go with the Max.
Yeah.
Did you also have the Max, Rob?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
I went a
Okay,
different
go ahead.
route.
Alrighty, so
I did too.
I went with the Max. I know it was the easy choice, but the Max had dance contests,
Perfect.
pep rallies,
Yes.
because apparently the gym was too small.
Sock hop.
Sock hops,
Yes.
telethons.
Thoughts?
On cut day, they went ahead and brought in arcade games and bumper
They did.
pool.
There's also a trivia show on there when Zach was trying to win those tickets.
Yep, they had the back to school senior party
They did.
there. The Max is perfectly fine with Zack selling spaghetti sauce.
Oh, yeah.
On the
and
premises?
I believe Kelly was crowned prom queen there.
Yep, she
Yep.
was.
During the
And
with her dyed face.
with her
Yes.
dyed face.
from the
Belding.
And apparently Zack can rent out the entire place whenever he wants.
Yeah, he has 40% ownership.
Yes, I believe so.
that's
He,
right.
he bought a lot of hamburgers.
I think the radio station. Did you mention that?
Yeah,
the radio
radio
station.
station.
The radio
set up there a
contest
couple
for
times.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, the
who
Hawaii
won the
KT1.
contest?
Who won?
Who won? Who won the contest?
For which one?
For the Hawaiian trip?
Belding.
Belding
That's
did.
right.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you remember the question?
Oh.
What is the
That's good.
Hawaiian tree cutting?
Oh,
or-
bonsai.
Yes,
Bonsai.
bonsai. 'Cause He was
Bonsai.
doing bonsai
Yeah.
in detention.
Gotcha.
That's right. Bonsai.
That radio DJ was interesting.
Yeah.
He was.
He was
Yeah.
doing some-
I looked him up. He's still got some parts and has had some prominent parts.
All right, Rob, shock us with your location.
Okay, so there
He
weren't
says-
a
wait
lot.
minute. First of all, he said, I went another direction. So I'm waiting to see what this is going to be. Like
No,
the other principal's office at Valley, where he's got like the joke thing set
Yes.
up and stuff.
Yeah, no, there weren't many locations. So
Okay.
you know, there was the Max, there were
Yes.
the classrooms, there wasn't a lot.
I mean, there
of
was.
They didn't
There was
really.
one.
You're not thinking
You know.
about it.
They moved around a lot.
They did.
Yeah, I went with their bedrooms
Okay.
because I thought they did a nice job of every bedroom really captured each kid.
Yes.
So Screech had a space theme. He had telescopes. He had a robot. You know, Zack had Paula Abdul, UB40, Lakers. He had a computer. Kelly had George Michael baseball bats. She was athletic, so it kind of fit
Tell
her
us stuffed
personality.
animals too.
Right.
Lots of
Jessie was very grown up. She had curtains, and it was a very adult. But she also had posters on her wall talking about environmental awareness, animal extinction, radiation, nuclear testing.
What about Slater's room?
Okay, so I couldn't find it. Okay,
No.
but here's my theory. You never see his house.
No.
Because he's an army brat.
They still have to live in a house.
Yeah,
They,
but
go to Dad's office.
They go to
I
his
know,
office.
but I'm
is
wondering
that
if
in the house? I think
in
it
the
was.
house.
Yeah.
because I was thinking base housing, could the kids get on? It wasn't as easy to
Zach
get
was
on
there.
the base, you know.
Zach was there. He laid down in front of a Jeep.
That's right.
I mean,
I mean, the one time his dad threw a grenade at him.
he did.
Wow. So anyways, I
problem.
just thought the
No
better,
problem there.
and then Lisa's. I don't
I
know.
only saw that like
yeah,
once or
a couple
twice.
times.
Yeah. She had
So-
that stuffed animal.
but it's very
put.
cute and pink, and you know. So
I like that stuffed animal, and then Screech's face shows up on it.
That was creepy.
That's how
Yeah.
she gets allergic to Screech. Anyway, so. Well, you stole a little of my thunder. So I said Zach's bedroom. So
Okay,
I put it down to that one because, and I listed these. It has everything, as Rob likes to hear. It has everything. He
not
has
gonna-
life-size Magic Johnson poster, a big bed because I only had a twin bed. It was decorated cool. Had a Bananarama poster on the wall. Record collection. People came in through his window, and of course, a creepy life-size cutout of Kelly that beamed down from the ceiling whenever he wanted.
That's right.
So hey, if it's good enough for Belding to hang out in when he's booted out of the house,
Yeah.
because he got in a fight with about his mother-in-law, it's the place to be. So that's what it should say above Zach's room when you're leaving. The place to be.
the place to be. All right.
Zach's bedroom. The place to be.
I could see that.
That could be its own show.
The place to
Zach's bedroom, the place to be.
Well, and he had the cool computer.
Cool computer.
I mean, at the time,
I
that
still
was
have
probably
a problem with his TV. It's pointed
Pointing
towards the window.
Jesse
His
wanted to
bed's
see
over
too.
there.
Because Jesse could see in the window.
But I never saw Jesse come through his window.
Yeah, she did.
I thought Screech did. Did she come through it as
I
well?
believe so.
Early, I know he went through hers quite a bit.
several times.
And
Screech
she's
came
on
through.
a second floor, by the way, because he comes through a tree.
That's right.
Zach does. So, but,
Well, and isn't Zach on a second floor?
I thought Zach was on a second floor
because
too.
when,
No.
when,
when
Screech gets hit by lightning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
things
yeah,
fall.
okay. I can go with that. All right. So, okay.
Once again,
So that gets us to category 4. So we like hanging out in kids' bedrooms, and Kurt wants to hang out at the Max.
I do.
Which I can't hate on the Max. Max is great.
I do love a
is
good
good.
burger
So-
or a bad burger.
yeah, that was the Central. That's where they hung out. I mean, that was.
I just thought it was so versatile.
All right, we're going to hit your favorite category, Rob.
Oh,
The favorite character you have by fashion alone.
Ooh, fashion
Doesn't matter about their behavior, none
Our
of that.
resident fashionista.
So I'm going to go first on this one.
yeah. Please.
I went with Zach
Okay.
because I'll be honest, I could copy his style a little bit.
Yeah.
The shirts, the kind of shirts he wore for the month until he got to Cosby sweaters, but the t-shirts, the polo shirts, the button-up shirts, I wore a lot of those. Jeans, he wore a lot. I was a jean guy, and then tennis shoes. I wore a lot of tennis shoes. So his game was on point with all that stuff. So that's how I dressed. I modeled myself after the Zach Morris. Can't go wrong. I didn't have a brick phone, and I didn't dye my hair blonde, but I tried to do the other things. So I didn't climb in Rob's window either, even when he lived in the attic. I didn't
No.
climb up there. So
I went through. Why did I go? I went through your window once, and you were on the ground floor.
I was on the ground floor. Easy to go through my window.
Why did I do that?
Were you sneaking in beer?
Yeah,
No.
he was.
No.
He liked to come in and watch me sleep.
Whoa.
No. I do
I
remember
can
one
see
time. I do remember one time.
Dave, wake up, Dave.
Dave had his window open, and I go up to the window, and I don't know why. To this day, I don't know why. Just started spewing profanity.
Oh, nice.
I think he was sitting there playing video games, and I go, like, hey, you motherfucker son of a bitch, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Well, his mom
right around the corner.
was in the hallway just outside the door, and she just kind of took a step into the door opening and kind of like looked at me, and I was like, oh, hi, Mrs. Olds.
Rob had learned some new words that day. And he
I
wanted
don't know
to test them
what
out.
I
He
was
had been
thinking.
listening to that rap music.
All right, Kurt, what is your favorite character about fashionistas?
Well, of course, it's Mr. A.C. Slater.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because nobody
And-
rocked the pleated jeans with the double buckle.
Real quick, what does
Better
the
than him.
AC stand for?
Oh, Albie.
Albert.
Albert Clifford.
Or-
That is correct.
What else does it stand for when he's the muscle?
Always crushing.
No.
No, okay.
What was it? Abnormally cruel.
Abnormally
or so.
cruel. Yeah, that's right. But yes, go on with your the pleats.
Well, he's got the pleats.
Yes.
It's just and he wears those jeans every second or third.
He only had like
episode.
3 pairs of jeans.
He had a black pair, an acid washed pair, and then he brought out the.
He had a few
he
like
had the khaki pleats.
pants type too.
I know David loves the camping when they're going whitewater rafting, and he's
so
got
good.
the short pleated khaki shorts,
The
And the
cut
big
off.
the
socks.
boots with the big socks stuffed down,
and a
the
sleeveless
button-up shirt.
shirt.
Yes, that's.
Oh.
See, it doesn't get any
Hey,
better.
Ready? Chef's kiss. That was really good.
And then
that
Chef's
outfit's really
The
good.
chef's kiss. The other favorite thing is the flowy, colorful tank top
Oh,
over
yeah.
the top of the tight black
Tight
one.
black one. Yeah.
Flowy. Oh, yeah.
Colorful
tank
yes.
top.
Yeah,
Because it was
he
big and
good.
flowy, and then it was cut real deep on the sides. But then the black one was a little tighter.
And I like when he wore his football jersey to school and it was a half shirt.
Yes,
That's really
Oh,
good.
yeah.
So. All right, Rob, what is your favorite fashionista?
I struggle with this one. I just had 2. My wife helped me out with this one. Slater's lack of sleeves was one.
Yep, good.
We did, and then Paula, my wife, did like Zach's style. She said I always liked
Yeah,
Zach's
because
style.
he had
So,
the style. So
I will say that Belding's constant suit. I mean,
Just great.
he rocked the suit. He never really varied.
nice. He's
he-
school administration.
Very far from. I mean,
that's
he
good.
stayed true to his post
Gotcha.
and wore his suit, except for the times he went with the half shirt and
Well, he's working out.
It's
not his fault.
Why are you working out in the locker room?
It's a busy day. You got to get it in where you can.
Okay.
That's it, right? So, all right, favorite episode. This is going to be a big category. I went with. Let's see if you can guess. Which one do you think I picked?
I'm afraid to say because I think it might be the same one.
Okay, well, tell me what you think I would pick.
Rockumentary.
Okay, which one do you think I would pick?
Oh, I'm gonna go school song.
Or Artie
School
Boy
Song's
or
good. Artie Boy?
Slater's friend.
So the first one, you can give yourself the ding.
I can?
Yeah,
Ding,
hit
ding,
the
ding,
ding
ding.
up, right?
What?
It was in fact the rockumentary. That episode is flawless from start to finish.
That's mine as well.
Right? Friends Forever gets all the fame here, and it's a great song. But
It jams.
Did We Ever Have a Chance is probably one of the best forgotten ballads of the 90s. All right, that song
duo between-
hits.
With
Thought we'd always be together. Yeah, that's great. I can't. They all get a part in that song. I mean, if I got Every Rose Has Its Thorn here, Did We Ever Have a Chance? Right next to it. That's easy. So that's not hard. And I have a theory about the Zack attack, right? So at the end, we're made to believe it's a dream, but I don't think it's a dream.
Yeah, and
I
Zack
think
Attack meaning
Zack-
the band.
The band, yeah.
Got it.
The band.
And this is their
Which
second
version
appearance.
of this band are you talking
This
about?
is the second appearance.
This is post reunion.
Is
the
this,
first-
is this the Kelly version or the Jesse version?
This
Which
is
one?
this is the Kelly version because we're on with the Casey Kasem.
All
The Jesse version, which she's a weird singer on that thing, but I think they figured out after that gig that Jesse wasn't working, so they put Kelly in her spot
because previously Kelly's shown such vocal chops.
Well, and she was having a tough night. She had to break up with Zach, the whole Jeff thing.
Yeah,
so
she's shown
she wasn't
to not
ready
be
to
able
perform.
to carry a tune early
right.
Well,
on. and
but then she does here very well.
so she got some training.
Yeah. So,
It worked for Britney Spears. I'm sure they could do something for
but
Kelly.
when he wakes up, all of that did happen. He's just waking up before again so that they can start to get to that point. So they still meet the guy who says
Who
what's his
happened
line?
to be running by.
Yeah. What was his line? Does Bart Simpson have animated zits? Of course, I'm interested.
A record producer just happened to be walking by.
And
Or
then
running
my
by.
one of my third favorite quotes is Lisa again. If you don't get rid of Linda, I'm gonna throw her out the window.
I have that down.
Lethal Lisa.
Lethal
Lethal
Lisa.
Lisa.
So
Yeah.
yes, the rockumentary, great music. It's wonderful. Casey Kasem's back. I love Casey Kasem. You can't go wrong with that episode. So,
Yeah.
so Rob, what would you like to tack on?
I got Casey Kasem. Did you know that Elizabeth Berkley broke her left knee in a fall filming, and as a result, she could not appear in this episode? So,
Or the mall episode where they're trying to buy
Yeah.
the tickets.
Yeah.
She was out of a couple.
I thought it was interesting. They sold 5 million copies,
Yes, that's good.
so they were
Did
up
we
there.
ever
Big
have
time.
a chance?
Yeah. I like when Screech goes off too. He goes see the
high
grand
nerd.
the high nerd, and he asks for the meaning of happiness, and he's given the answer: marry a cheerleader and move to the beach.
Live at the beach.
And then I really liked Zach's outfit when he kind of goes solo.
Yeah.
He breaks away.
The male Madonna.
and it's a vanilla ice.
Oh,
Did-
yeah.
It is
that's what I
like-
thought too was Vanilla
man.
Ice.
Vanilla
oh my God.
Ice. So,
And then I just put reunion concert. So
yeah,
I just-
great. The reunion concert.
That's pretty
They're
good.
ripping.
were-
Again, he gets his Screech gets his clothes ripped off again. One thing about Zack Attack that I'm curious when they do their first gig, which is the costume ball.
Yeah.
At one point, Zack introduces the whole band to the high school kids that he goes to high school with.
What's a
They're
big?
not at a random gig. Everyone in the room literally has gone to school with them since forever.
It's a big high school.
And he's like, "Oh, and Jesse Spano." And yeah, we know.
As
we know
we
Jesse
learned
is.
though, watching all of these episodes, there's only like 20 kids that
Yeah.
stay in this school. Everybody else is revolving in and out. And we never see them again.
They know this kid. They know them. The introducing was so dumb. But back to the other one, the documentary. At the end, Screech says, "We got to get ready for our first paying gig." I think that's the costume ball. So I think
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know.
We'll
Even
see.
though Jesse wasn't there to warm up with them.
Well, again, no, because they did that for
There's
free.
some plot holes you're coming in with
No,
here.
so I got it. They did that one for free, so it's after that
A
one.
plot hole and Saved by
Maybe-
the Bell. Get
maybe-
out.
Maybe
Stop.
Maybe Karosi's bringing him into the Malibu Sands. He likes them now,
That's right.
so maybe he's doing a gig for the old folks over there.
Maybe.
He came off $20, pays them.
That's right.
So what do you got, Kurt?
All right. Mine's also a musical episode. And if you put your mind to it,
Yes.
you might know it.
Ooh.
I will
Hot
always
Sunday?
know it.
Hot Sunday. We got Jesse's song, of course.
Of course.
You can't have a favorite episode without Jesse's song.
Cannot.
I don't know why I keep going back to this drug thing, though.
Yeah.
Had the favorite
I don't
quote
know.
down to this.
Yes.
Of course, Jesse gets hooked on the caffeine pills.
They're rough.
Originally, she was supposed to get hooked on speed,
Yes.
but the standards and practices said that's a little much for Saturday morning
Too
for
much.
the kids.
Can't take
So
it.
can we just dial it back a little bit to caffeine pills? So they did.
The producer said she was taking the equivalent of drinking a cup of Earl Grey tea.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
so excited!
Perfect.
I'm so excited! I'm
And I still do that quote in my life today.
Do you think that is the like quote of the show though? Like that's if anybody doesn't know anything about Saved by the Bell or that
You
that's
throw that out
something
there, they're
everybody
like,
knows.
oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that's the defining show.
It is.
Yeah.
So-
I also put down Graduation. I thought the last episode.
Did you have a tear?
You know,
Single tier.
Single tear.
I was sad to see it go.
Yeah,
I was. I thought they ended it really well.
In
and
our-
You were so
I mean,
sad that you would not go on to the college years or anything
I don't
else.
want to watch college years. To me, this is Saved by the Bell.
No, I remember we were in
I don't want to go any farther.
in our,
This is
in our
Saved
group
by.
chat. In our group chat, he did chime in.
I was
with,
bummed. I was bummed.
sad.
I
And
was
I-
sad to see it go.
It just
I finished
told-
that the same day that you
Yeah.
texted and said I'm done, and I'm a little sad. I finished it a little later on that same day.
I'm not so sad.
I kept going.
You just kept going. Yeah,
I went to Hawaii with them. I went to the I skipped college and went straight to the marriage. Thing.
Nice. So, all right. Well, favorite special episodes away from the high school. So these can be those kind of.
Oh, did we skip
those-
the worst?
Yeah, do we want to do worst?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
You're right.
You want to do worst?
Hey, good call. You know what you should hit me with, Rob?
Oh,
Hit me with, I would have gone with the timeout, but that's okay.
we
No.
could go.
Yeah, exactly. You're a little weird with that board today.
That's all right.
Anyway, worst episode. You
my-
are correct. Worst episode.
My
So,
board. I can do what I want.
I would say the easy answer here is Running Zack. Everyone could say Running Zack is really bad. And in Running Zack, there's a few problems that aren't just Zack. Lisa refers to the Underground Railroad as the first soul train. So it's an interesting take. I don't know that I go with that's pretty bad.
But she said, I think she says like her aunt or
I got it.
her somebody else says that.
I
so
got it.
Does that leave?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Shouldn't
get her off
repeat
the
it.
hook.
They still put it out there.
But I'm going to tell you right now, I think the worst actual episode is the calendar episode. So
Model
Zack
students.
is selling
Model
sexual
students.
pictures of underage girls.
Episode 10.
Then when Kelly gets a shot at actually being a model, he bullies her into not doing it, basically taking away the biggest opportunity she may ever have in her entire life. Gets away with it because she stays with him. The school took no action. Kelly forgives him. So do the other girls. It's pretty bad. That is almost criminal enough he should have got arrested for in reality. So the video one's bad too, but the calendar is actually a pretty bad episode if you watch it. So he's self-centered. Again, he just completely derails her. Like he emotionally abuses her to not go to Paris.
Yeah.
And I mean, he makes her cry. I mean, it's crazy. So
Well, and the fact that you get this photographer is going to take this girl to Paris for a month. Like, okay. I'm
Too
sure
paranoid.
that's all on the up and up.
yeah,
right?
you're fine.
Yeah.
He works for a magazine. I forget the name of the magazine, but it's a good magazine.
I was watching that
How
episode.
do you think these models get their jobs? They go to Paris.
I was watching that episode with my daughter, my youngest
Nice.
daughter. And
And your daughters love Saved by the Bell now, by the way.
Yeah, we have T-shirts. We have family T-shirts. Yeah, and
Family T-shirts.
my daughter has continued to watch the call. She's continued to move. I won't
Perfect.
go. But no, the photographer runs into the Max. He's got the new printed calendars.
Yeah.
And he says, check out these hot-looking girls.
Yeah.
And my daughter goes, check out these hot-looking minors.
Minors. Yeah. It's illegal. Like, where are you selling that? So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, Rob,
I did have one. One of my favorite quotes though was from that episode where Zack and Screech are talking right after Screech comes out of the pool in his little
Scuba gear.
and he goes, "Zack, let me say it's an honor working with a slime ball like you."
always ties to Screech.
That's right.
Well, you're not a slime ball, but we work with you. So, what is your worst episode?
A little bit of a slime ball. Occasionally, I can be.
Once in a while.
Right. My worst episode. I'm gonna go with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Oh, the dorks is that's not. Yeah, that's
I just went with it's terrible rapping.
Terrible.
And they're trying to be, in the words of Mr. David, a little too urban contemporary.
they are.
It's just too much. I just thought they went way too far. They tried to push the Zack and Jesse thing in there.
That's correct.
Just to throw a little fight, and
Yeah.
it was too much.
It was too much.
Yeah, the making out. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he makes out with everybody, Zack, because he also makes out with Lisa when he makes Screech mad.
Well,
That's
he
right.
had to make out with Lisa. He was really going out.
Well, but Screech challenge him to a fight at like 3:00.
And then Zack avoids him.
He had to.
I mean, he's not going to do it.
Well, he doesn't want to
so.
beat Screech up.
Right.
I mean, he dismantles Screech. So
Yeah, you guys haven't talked about the fight between,
I don't like that episode.
between Slater and
Ah,
that doesn't
that
sit well with
episode
you.
makes me
That,
upset.
That upsets you.
Yeah.
Never see that girl.
That'd be like us fighting. I don't want to think about that.
The two of us fighting. Can you imagine
I
that?
don't want to think about that.
I would pay good money for that.
No. Jello.
Nobody's
No.
nobody's winning that.
Chocolate pudding.
Chocolate pudding. All right, Rob, worst episode.
Gosh, I had two.
Of course you did.
The video yearbook and the calendar.
Nice.
I thought
wow.
that.
Right there.
He does not like taking advantage of women.
You didn't go to Running Zack. No one
I
running
wa-
Zack.
I
Well,
had that
running
down.
Zack I thought was the easy choice, so I tried to find a different one.
Yeah.
It is the easy
The
choice.
other ones that I know our family, my daughters really had a hard time with were the Jeff episodes. So the
Jeff's
Last
the
Dance
worst.
and then the Aftermath.
I hate
episode
Jeff.
1 and 3.
Just so you know, Jeff is also the guy who breaks up Casper Van Diem and Denise Richards in Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
So I don't like Jeff.
Down with Jeff.
He spent the 90s just breaking people up. His whole job.
In the Jeff episode, Jeff is a sophomore in college and Kelly's a junior. So
Yeah, no problems.
there's a real life 6-year age difference between the two.
Good.
But in that episode, Zach picks up that Kelly's giving him the cold shoulder. And he says, I think I'm getting the cold shoulder. And Screech says, sounds like the cold to me. You should wear a turtleneck tomorrow. That was a great comeback.
Screech also orders obscene food, which Jeff gets very irritated at. Can I get a pineapple watermelon smoothie?
Yeah.
That episode 1, The Last Dance with Jeff, is also the episode where AC Slater and Jesse have a pretty fantastic duet.
They do.
It's a Michael Bolton.
It's a Michael Bolton
Yes.
cover.
And you can
It's
find it on
really
YouTube,
good.
and if you have a minute,
really
you
good.
should pop over there and check it out.
Yes.
It's really good. So,
All right, we'll stay with you, Rob. Category 7, favorite special episode. Away from the high school.
I went with the 2-parter episodes 24, 25 at the mall.
Oh, nice.
I
You
like
them all.
I like that they broke away.
I never miss a U2
You know,
concert.
because I think the obvious
Make it
was
200.
200. Blondie.
I think the obvious was to go with Malibu Sands.
Yes.
But I liked the Christmas episodes. I thought that was good. I thought Screech makes a pretty great Scrooge.
Do you think that Slater makes a really good elf?
No sleeves.
No,
yeah, I thought
No
that was a
sleeves.
great outfit. Yeah,
and he's hip hop dancing coming into the
yeah.
like he's leading the sleigh too, or like
No,
he's
that's
behind?
Screech dressed
Screech,
up as
that's right.
Yeah.
He's right behind.
But no, I thought they had the homeless guy
Yeah.
theme that they're trying to help out.
Mr.
and,
Moody's not a
yeah.
nice guy.
Yeah.
Mr. Mooney. Yeah.
So yeah, going to the mall.
Well,
I thought
I'm
that
going to
was
go
good.
obvious, and I'm going with all the Malibu Sands episodes.
yeah,
because I love the Malibu Sands. I love Mr. Carosi. I love Stacy Carosi. I love Gary, the 6'10" ringer that they bring in.
Oh yeah, that hurts himself.
Yeah.
For a whole day until he
I
hurts
like
himself.
I like Big Pete. I like all the old people trying to flirt with Kelly and Slater. Yeah, the whole thing is great. The Malibu Sands is awesome. The volleyball scene, they do some like repetitive video. That montage is
So good.
fantastic. Anything, it's better than Top Gun. I mean, they are.
Shut your mouth.
No, I'm telling you, I think it's better volleyball.
Better
than
volleyball
Top
than
Gun.
what? Than Top
Yeah.
Gun?
But Top Gun, he's
I
in
will-
jeans.
I will say there's a couple instances where Screech shakes his hands and hits a spike and it goes right over the net. The physics,
trajectory
the
does not
physics
work.
on that doesn't work. And then he also Zack has a serve that goes right over the net because she goes, "Hey Tad, you know what? I will go out with you."
Yeah.
And then it hits him in the head, and she goes, "You know what? I don't date dweebs."
Do you know who Tad was?
I don't know who Tad was.
It
No.
was his name is Eric Dane. He's on.
Oh, yes.
it's,
McSteamy.
McSteamy.
Yeah,
So,
on
he was a young
the
McSteamy.
Grey's Anatomy.
Degrees.
And for our younger listeners, now the dad of the football player on Euphoria.
Oh, see, I
Didn't
haven't
know
watched
that,
that.
did
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
My
The
kids,
young
had to,
folks
my
will
kids
know.
had to fill me in on that.
I gotcha. So, all right, Kurt.
All right. I went with the Palm Springs episodes
Ah.
where they go
Oh.
for Jesse's dad's wedding.
Yeah.
I thought the hotel was fabulous.
It is nice.
That was a nice hotel.
It's an
The
actual
gym-
hotel.
For the size of that hotel, the gym lacked a little bit.
It was slack. I'm sure it's better now.
Okay.
But that is the JW Marriott Desert Springs Resort.
And I didn't understand how Zack drove out on the golf course to pick her up to bring her back to the wedding,
Yeah.
but got lost on the way back. It was the same direction. I don't understand.
There was one of my favorite lines was from Jessie, and it's when the aerobics instructor, who's going to be her stepmom, initially walks by,
Yes.
and she goes, and Jessie goes, "She's just some aerobics instructor bimbo. If brains were dynamite, she wouldn't have enough to blow her nose."
There you go.
But I
That's
love
gold, Jerry.
Yes,
gold.
that's right. But I love, the place has got boats
Oh,
that
it's
come into
awesome.
the lobby.
Oh yeah.
It was fantastic.
Zach and Kelly for a moment start.
Did they starting to get back together?
but then as soon as she
made my
sees-
hopes they're going to come back together, and then
as
no.
soon as she sees a hot waiter,
That's right.
can I get some diet lips?
That's right.
What was
Going again.
the head writer? Was it Peter Engel?
Peter,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
he's the director too.
Yeah, he was on the golf course.
Oh, golf.
So when they're
when they're driving across the golf
yes,
course.
he's the golfer that they.
All right. Okay, well, that takes us to our last category, sadly. Category 8, our favorite actor or actress that was not yet a star, because there were several just
There
randos
is.
in the background. So this is a tough one. I thought it was tough because there's lots of examples.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Denise Richards just because when she got out of the ocean, she looks like Denise Richards. So I was happy about that. Quick appearance in episode 4 of the Malibu Sands storyline and then when he says, come on, babe, let's go get a burger. And she goes, chick, babe, are you going to let her call you that? And with dimples like that, he can say whatever he wants. So, yes, I'm going to go with Denise Richards.
Who never showed up at Bayside,
Never
even
showed
though
up.
she said she was going to.
Supposed to be there in the fall, but maybe they moved.
Apparently.
Maybe
They were supposed to be moving to Bayside.
maybe escrow fell through on the house and they had to move somewhere else.
Sure.
There you go.
Then she ended up on Wild Things.
That's right.
Well, because that
yeah,
that
she moved
was
to Florida.
That's right.
there were two to go back a little bit. There were 2 episodes early on where when Kelly's dad loses his job,
Yes.
he says something about peace is broken out
Yes.
across the land. 2 episodes in a row they mention that.
Correct.
And so that I was going to add that to my theory that this is a dream.
Okay.
Everything's great. Everything peace is broken out across the world.
Yes.
That's how so that's good for him because or good for the world but bad for him. But I was thinking that here that so things like people not showing up where they're supposed to and character that it all worked out.
How does that segue to your favorite?
I don't. Who's your favorite?
Not yet a
Oh,
star.
you're pointing at me. All right. I went with Bridget Wilson.
Ooh,
Sampras.
nice. Do I have lipstick on my teeth?
Yes.
She made quite a few
The
appearances.
dimwit. She played
did.
the dimwit Ginger.
She did really dumb. They made her, by the way.
Yes. But that Miss
That Veronica Vaughn.
One
There's
nice
one nice piece
Piece of A's.
So yes, and then she did well for herself, and she then married Pete Sampras.
Well, I mean, you can look. I think that is Bridget might be like her middle name or something. I think that's Veronica Vaughn. She graduates from Bayside,
Right.
and
Becomes a
then she
teacher.
becomes a teacher and starts teaching at the school Billy ends up at. And
That's right.
There you go. It's the universe.
That
There
makes
there you
sense.
go.
makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Just because she was a bimbo, they made her seem like a bimbo in high school.
I said dimwit.
Dimwit. She put it all together in college and became a teacher.
That's right.
That Veronica Vaughn.
There you go. There you
All right,
go.
Rob, what you got?
Gosh, I had Denise Richards highlighted.
Oh, nice.
Only very similar reasons. She's
Yeah.
nice to look
It's
at.
Denise Richards. Yeah.
But I think number 2, I'm going to go with Soleil Moon Frye.
Oh, nice. You went with the Punky Brewster.
As the little rich girl that just wants Zack for his money. Or not Zack,
Now,
Screech.
I was going to go with her, but my little category says not yet
a star.
and she was already
She
Punky
has
Brewster.
been Punky Brewster.
That's true.
That
She
does
was.
violate.
I mean, there had been a
Yeah.
few years where she hadn't done anything,
Hey,
and then
Kurt.
she came on.
Okay,
as
then
a
I-
long-time listener of the show, this is not the first time Rob has violated
He
the
likes to
categories.
stretch the category
He does.
rules.
Or I just don't
R.I.P.
read. I just
Barb.
don't.
So what do you got?
I just don't read.
Barb Hummel, R.I.P.
What's your third option? You can go with Denise Richards too. There's nothing wrong.
I'm going to
with
go
that.
with Leah Remini.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Of
I
course.
thought
Stacey Carosi,
I liked her on
King of Queens.
King of Queens.
Now,
I thought
Rob,
she
I
was-
have another problem with this one as well.
Oh, okay.
What?
Because again, not yet a star.
I don't think she was that
She has
big.
already had her entire own series called Living Dolls at this point,
Nobody knows what that is.
which it is a spinoff of Who's the Boss.
I understand that, but nobody watched that.
I did
That's not a real thing.
because I had a very large crush on
All right.
on her when I was a young
You know
lad.
what, Rob? Hit the dinger.
Why?
For Leah Remini, I allow it. Because I don't think she was a big star.
Hey.
If I say you have your own 13 episode series,
It's a bad
I
series.
don't
you
know.
have become a star.
So
What about early on? I never know how to say her last name, but Carla
Gugino?
Gugino.
Very good.
She was in the
She was Miss Bliss.
Miss Bliss. So, yeah.
Yep. Tori Spelling played Violet Bickerstaff.
Scott Wolf
Screeches.
with his many
Scott
waiter
Wolf, yeah,
appearances
just wandering
and
around.
the Glee Club.
Christine Taylor
Yep.
used to be
SAT
married to
episode.
SAT episode used to be married
Ben
to
Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
They're not married anymore?
No, they got
Oh,
divorced.
that's
sadly.
too bad.
So,
Okay.
well, that gets us to all our
The Micro
categories.
Machines guy, he was in there.
Oh, yes, he was.
Yes, he
Yeah,
was.
That's right. Gabrielle Union.
Yeah.
Gabrielle Union. She was in there. Scott Wolf. You mentioned him several times.
Casper Van Dien,
yeah.
who was also in Starship Troopers.
We talked about Eric Dane. We talked about Tara Reid.
Yep, Tara Reid.
And then Milo
Tara Reid?
Ventimiglia.
Was Tara Reid in one of the later episodes of the next class?
Yeah.
She was.
Yes, that's true.
So
That
you're
is true.
stretching into
Yep.
that now.
That's
You're just
true.
blowing.
He's
this
going into the
category
ones
apart.
that he refused to watch.
Yes, that's right.
I won't watch him. I won't watch him.
All right. Well, I got a couple. That takes us through all 8 of our categories, but I got a couple extra categories. So we can go through these pretty quick.
We love these because we're quick
So,
thinkers.
That's right.
Not right.
I will
Not
always. I'll go first because I have answers, and you guys can think real quick. But so,
Still not
worst character.
Worst character?
Worst character. I went with Rod Belding. I mean, they don't even look related. I don't know what's going on there. They're twins like Schwarzenegger and DeVito are twins. Okay, so in the movie Twins, where they look nothing alike. And my number 2 or 1B is Jeff Hunter. He's the worst. The manager at
Everybody
the
hates
Max.
Jeff.
Everyone
Yeah.
hates Jeff.
He's a pedophile.
Yeah, he sucks. So, all right. Well, worst character.
Oh my gosh! Off the cuff,
Yeah,
dude.
go, hit it.
This is off the cuff. I'm gonna go with one that comes to my head is I cannot think of his name, but the nerdy kid that sounds like he's got a frog in his voice.
Oh, Ollie.
Ollie's great.
Ollie.
I love
It
Ollie.
Drives me nuts.
It reminds me of Froggy from Little Rascals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Ollie. I feel bad
Ollie.
for Ollie.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got,
Ollie.
Kurt?
Oh, God, you took the easy one with Jeff.
Oh, you can have Jeff too. It's fine. He was my 1A.
I hated Jeff.
Yes, everyone hates Jeff.
What about Jesse's
pretty bad.
stepbrother?
Yeah, Eric's
Ooh,
rough.
but he helps fix the car.
But he took it apart.
He did take it all apart. he had the shop class take it
He
apart.
did have the
only
shop
help.
class take it apart.
I liked when Eric came to school and the teacher goes, "Let's welcome Eric today. Let's
Yeah.
mug him
Let's mug him.
because he's from like Jersey or something."
So
Let's
you
make
can
him.
go with Jeff.
Let's make him feel it. Let's make him feel at home.
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
can go
Who
with
was,
Jeff.
who was the rich nerd? I didn't like him either.
Oh, Max Nerdstrom.
Max
Nerdstrom.
Nerdstrom.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was rough.
He was not my favorite. It's between those two guys.
All right, Rob. Here's an easy one. Favorite recurring teacher.
Ooh. Well, I really liked that he didn't recur like
Yeah.
Tuttle or Dewey.
Well, that's what I was going for.
But the wrestling coach.
All right, he's terrible.
He is terrible.
Because that was one of my quotes is where he goes, "Oh, you did the full Nelson and the half Nelson. Now try the Willie Nelson." He goes,
my
"That's a country.
Spurs."
That's a country western joke. A country wrestling joke."
He
He goes, "I got Spurs that jingle, jingle, jingle." So good.
All right, fine. Favorite recurring teacher.
I'm gonna go with Mr. Tuttle.
Oh,
just
nice.
because you like the retorts that people had for
like
lines.
Tuttle, yeah.
My favorite one was Belding comes in to check on the Glee Cubs' status and how well they're doing before the competition. And Tuttle looks at him and goes, he says, "If I needed to be nagged, I'd call your wife."
That's right. That's good. So
That's funny.
well, mine was I like Tuttle. I love Dewey. Dewey's really good, but I went with Miss Wentworth. So Rob, I don't know
Is
if
she's not the home ec teacher.
no, she's the one that does
History or
these subliminal
something.
messages
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So, but she's in several episodes. But she is a cougar on the prowl in the subliminal message episode. One of her things says, "And if you have any single dads, point them my way." Like
Oh,
she's
yeah.
not being subtle.
Yeah.
But this reminds me, and we're not doing too far inside, but we had at our high school, and I had her. Miss Meneghet was her name.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
watch
don't-
out.
And if
now.
she's listening,
I
I'm
highly
sorry.
doubt she's
But,
listening. but
she
'cause we only have,
she was Miss Wentworth.
2 listeners.
She used to. She was blazing about how, like, if you were a male student, she'd put her arm on you and she'd help you correct something.
Did she do the
or
lean over?
She did the lean over a
Yeah,
lot.
I
So,
try to. I'm somebody that tries to like. I want to see the good in things,
Yes.
and people. I remember people coming to me going, "Oh, Miss Meneghet, she's like
was-
kind of. Well, she's
She's the cougar on the prowl.
preferential to the boys in that class." And
She
I
is.
thought, "Oh no,
No,
that's a wives' tale."
Now that
And then I
you
got
work-
in there, and I was like,
no, wait, Rob. Now that you work in
she was
administration,
a close talker. She would get after the girls, and then I could do
would.
the same thing. And yeah.
if you had to evaluate her as her vice principal, how would that evaluation go?
Distinguished.
yeah, we'd yeah, it wouldn't end. It would.
She wore a lot of short skirts.
You know how it ends.
She wore a lot of short skirts, a lot of
Yeah, yeah.
tight blouse type
Yeah.
things. No, she was a cougar on the prowl. So
Oh, yeah.
anyway, I'll go with Miss Wentworth. So last one, easy one. Best group / band singing group.
Oh, pfft.
So what do you got?
Well, let's talk choices.
No, you just pick your choice.
So it's
I know my choices.
Yeah, she 4 aces. No,
5.
no, 5 aces.
Trouble with math again.
I'm gonna go. Keep you talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. What do you got, Kurt?
I'm gonna go with the. I guess you got to go with the Zack attack.
Zack
they
attack.
had the hits.
Gotcha.
Got to play
What do
the
you
hits.
Buns on the Run.
Oh, I don't know that one.
No, what
Explain.
in the Hot Sunday episode?
Yeah.
They're
the rival.
Yes, their rival. It's
We didn't hear them sing.
Yeah,
We
it's,
never heard their stuff.
It's there's one that's like Buns
Well-
on the Run, something piercing.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I love
earlobe piercing or
yeah,
something.
I love Zack Attack, but I am going to go Hot Sunday. I don't think they got their shot.
Yeah.
They
I
did not.
think they could have been bigger than Zack Attack if they'd gotten off the ground and been able to get past Jesse's dependency problems.
If they just kept those leotards on, they would have just kept
would've
going.
been good. They got to go
Yeah.
for it. Break
I
up
was
the
just
sweat.
most impressed that in that episode they didn't just do a snippet of the video in the episode.
no,
they
they
played
went
it
the
is
whole
an
thing, and it's
entire
great.
music video within the episode. I thought, well, good.
Yeah,
well
it's
done.
great.
I
My
watched that
kids
video
are
over
Great
and over
video.
again.
So.
Strictly for research.
All right.
That's
Well, I will say we have spent probably
Fitness
as
tips.
much time on Saved by the Bell as any people should ever spend on it.
Based
And
based
I
on my
think
little screen here, we've
Yes.
spent 1 hour and 52 minutes.
that is probably
Oh
makes sense, right? So with that, we've covered the football games, the Max and the romances. So Bayside will soon be just a memory. As that brings us to the end of this episode of Totally 80s and 90s Recall. We hope you've enjoyed being friends forever and reliving our maybe just my favorite Saved by the Bell moments. Finally, we'd like to thank all of our listeners, whether first-timers or subscribers, for hanging out with Rob, Kurt, and I. Hopefully, we gave you an hour or so of some laughs. And don't forget to tune in for all new episodes of Totally 80s and 90s Recall every Tuesday.
What are we doing next time?
We, for next time, are doing funny, odd songs of the 1980s, no Weird Al. So these are songs that were just strange
lame.
songs, strange bands. They could just sound... I'm going to let you run free on this one. But it should be something pop culture related. People would have known. Don't go find some dark B-side album that nobody ever heard of. So, but anyway,
have
they're
one
just songs
already
that
in
could
my
either
mind.
sound odd to you, sound weird, but they could have still been really good songs or something like that. So I'm going to let you run free on this one,
Okay.
Rob.
All right.
So,
That'll be fun.
all right. Well, Kurt, you got anything else?
I do not.
He doesn't. Rob, you got anything else?
I don't have anything
All
else.
right. Fancy goodbye.
No fancy goodbyes.
All right. We're out of here.
All right. Peace out.
Wow. Long time on Saved by the Bell.
Well, we could have gone on for more.
Could probably, yeah. There's so much more to talk about.
There's not so much to talk about.
There
There's so much to talk about.
We've got lists of it.
You know what?
To go through.
We never had a chance.